gracious. Oh my good golly. Well, I guess you'll just have to call me Miss Molly. How we all doing? Oh man, hopefully good, hopefully good. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Happy Monday, chatters. My God, Tyler, you were first. So true, King. Pink, outdo. Howdy. You know, you know what? You are like Woody. You're like Woody from Toy Story. I'm Woody. Howdy. Oh my God. Yo, great outdo. Only a week before the anniversary. Anniversary of what? Tiger. Howdy chat, howdy lurkers, howdy VOD watchers, howdy nap. How do, Tiger? How do? Hopefully good. Oh my gosh. Just discovered a new mod pack on Reddit. Oh, it literally adds nothing. It just makes vanilla experience convenient and gives a quest book that's like a tutorial. I might actually be able to stomach vanilla for... I like vanilla. I think vanilla's the best. And you know, I'm tired of this slander otherwise. Yo, Table, dude, what's up, man? Outdo. Long time no see. Hopefully you've been doing well. Oh my gosh. Man, oh man. Have you seen Generation Lost? I think you'd really like it. Hello there. I have not. No, I have not. I'm not totally certain on that. But no, I've not. What is it? Yo, it's Monday. I know, right? My report cards are quick. Flee or celebrate. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's all good news. You know, you never know. Everybody's so sure the report card's gonna be awful. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying maybe it was just me. Maybe I was always just so sure that my report card was gonna be awful. Maybe that was the case. But you know, am I ever really wrong? Apparently so. I mean, like, if the report card's gonna be awful, then I guess I better be wrong about some things. Oh no, the ads! Nap, how could you? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ads are wicked. Ads are great. Ads are stupendous, man. Ads are big bog, you know? The ads are what makes the world go round here on Twitch. Ads are what makes things churn. And you know, I just really enjoy it when we can have that so that the turning can be complete. Come on. I mean, that's not literally what it says. It says turning, but I don't, you know, I didn't have it today. I didn't have it in me today. I didn't know what to put. That's My God, you're so right, King. You're so right. Oh, not a 0 out of 10. Come on. It's at least worth like 0.02, right? It says Turing. Yeah, well, what do you want me to do? Bring up Alan? I guess it is Pride Month, so you know I could have tried to ham fist that, but it felt blasé. It felt you know. You said the wrong word. No, I said the right word. You're all blind. Yeah. Hey, what do you think of that? Hey, you think you're so great, don't you? You think? Oh my God. I'm not doing great, to be honest. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hoping the stream's good mood rubs off me. Well, if I can help you in any way be in a good mood, that's what I'm here for. Oh man, yo, no, I'm sorry to hear that, Tiger. But hopefully, you know, you could get taken away on this here Monday. Oh my God, I'm sitting in the dark. I just remembered I should turn on my light. You could get taken away onto the good vibes of the Twitchverse, you know. It's a series Randall did VODs on YouTube. It's a stage play. Oh, with Jerma. Never mind, I do know about this. Yeah, bring up Alan. Well, you know, we can't all be on point with that, all right? You know what I mean? Yo, random outdo. I would have accepted Alan Turing Day Month over that joke. Yeah, it just felt. So with Twitch Prime, you mean? My God. Chatters, listen. At the end of the day, they're not all gonna be perfect. That's a lie. Everything I do is perfect. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Because maybe the perfection was the lack of hitting the nail on the head. Because maybe I wanted it to be bad. You know? Computers are gay. Pride. What? I didn't realize we were talking about Portal again. My God. Oh man. Oh me. Oh my. Chatters. How we all doing? How we all doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully do. Me personally. Oh man. I'm in having a nightmare. Oh God. Oh sweet Jesus. Chatters, it's been awful. It's been really not good. I'll be honest with you. Soup left and I haven't slept and oh no. But it'll be fine. He'll come back. He'll come back. He'll be fine. Oh my God. We normally took shifts, but I just can't get to sleep anymore. I just gotta deal with that. It's fine. They go away eventually. They just don't always go away instantly. It's a lot to deal with, to be honest. But you know, I'm making do. Yo, Ash, I'll do. He's doing the thing? What thing? I don't know what you're talking about. You sound crazy. Oh, man. 1 second, Mr. Skeleton. I'm gathering bread because I don't have any food on me. Mr. Skeleton, leave me alone, please. Leave me alone, please. I have no food on me right now. You too. Leave me alone, please. It would be nice to be left alone. Oh, man. They're kind of relentless. But in the end, it works out. In the end, it works out. I mean, next to you guys will think that, what, I'm gonna start risking the hardcore world closer and closer to the date of its anniversary because that just is a funny thing to me, and just getting really close to the idea of like a 3-heart living experience is just fun and enjoyable. Haven't been here for a while. Well, welcome back, Ash. It has been a hot minute, indeed. Oh my good gracious. We are back with our hardcore world. We've been a little alone lately. We've recently had a villager leave, and then these guys showed up, and well, I don't know. It's been kind of annoying. It's kept me in the mines more often than not, but we're making do. No eardrums, womp womp. What do you mean? What in God's name does that mean? What does no eardrums womp womp mean? Oh my God. Nap, don't you dare. Don't I dare what? Who knows? Maybe we'll go over to the village and David's house will be on fire. Who knows what's gonna happen? You know, it's a wild and crazy time here, chatters. It's a wild and crazy time. Logging off with the gates to the castle of Fed attacking as you log in. Was it planned? Nothing to do with that. No, of course, that was absolutely, I had no plans for that. I just haven't been sleeping well. I've been having to, you know, make do with what I can through the night. It's been a little annoying, but I kept the village safe otherwise, so that's good. These guys are a lot to deal with sometimes, though. I'll admit. Super Ben. We lost a villager. One of them is Soup okay? Well, he's not dead. He left. He's on a mission for the crown, I guess. That's well, that's what I'm telling everybody, at least. But you know, he's out there, I guess, somewheres. Restless bones, I guess. I don't know. Conversation did not go how I thought it would. Look at that absolute creep. Look at that freak. Look at that. Oh my God. Where'd he go? Oh. What? Yeah, that's right. Better run. What a fool. What a dum-dum. I'm sorry, but who's Soup? Soup is one of our key villagers. For the last about 2 years or so, he's been chilling around in our village. He converted from a Fletcher to a librarian and provided us with mending books. Originally, he's been a useful compatriot, former adventurer turned villager. But recently, he left. He decided he wanted to stretch his legs a bit. But you know, that's cool. That's fine. I'm benevolent. I let that happen. I let people leave when they want to leave. For the most part. when you know it makes sense to do so, and not if I think they're gonna be in danger by doing so. I mean, I'm not gonna, like, you don't let a toddler play in traffic, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta set some boundaries. You want them to go out and have fun, and maybe they scraped a knee, falling off the bike, and that's okay, they might learn, but maybe don't let them go onto the, you know, the freeway. Because that doesn't happen either, you know what I mean? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's part of an ongoing story thing. Don't worry about it. Or do, be involved. Be involved. Chat likes to be involved. They got really attached to Soup, which is why it's a little devastating, I'm sure, for them that he left. But, you know, I mean, it's not like I wanted to inflict devastation on people. You think I'm gonna make somebody that the chat's attached to leave? Just to get an emotional reaction? What kind of cheap Hollywood storytelling do you think is going on? Next you'll tell me it was raining when it happened. Oh my god. Next you'll tell me there was a thunderstorm or something. Ah, come on. Please, that's so hokey. Next you'll tell me, oh my god. Yo, Path, dude, what's up, man? I'm genuinely distraught. I mean, listen, meta-wise, it was a fun little video to make. I was like, how can I make them sad? And that's why I did it before Pride Month. I would have felt bad doing it during. I would have felt bad doing that during Pride Month. I was like, oh, I should probably do this in advance. Oh my god. Yo, Oliver! Dude, what's up, man? I did not respond to you on Discord, I am aware. But that's because listen, there's a reason I lost my hands. Anyway, I'm doing this all mentally. This is all This is all mental. Don't look behind the curtain, okay? I was about to play Minecraft and then change my mind to watch the stream. Let's go! Would have been homophobic in Pride Month. That's why you do. Yeah, all the hate crime happens exactly on May 31st, right before the date change. Oh my god, because, you know, why not? That seems like a good time to get it done. Dump your nuclear sewage into waistlines, you know, get it all done right before Pride Month, and then change your logo to a rainbow, and all's forgiven. And all's forgiven. You would have been canceled? Oh, come now, Mellow. You can't cancel me. Don't you know who I am? I'm uncancelable. It can't be done. It simply cannot. You need to be relevant to be canceled. You fools! You fallen for my greatest trap card. You think you can cancel me? You can't cancel somebody when there's no relevance to be canceled. Oh my god. Trust me, most people don't care about if the hate crimes are doing. What hate crime did you do now? Well, Oliver, here's the thing. Soup left. He left the village. It was sad, but it's all approved. It's all above board. Totally. Yep. All approved. He asked, and I gave him approval. We had a little bit of a spat. You know, it happens. And he's gone off. He decided he needed to stretch his wings and do his own thing, and that's fine. You know, yeah, I understand that. I can understand when people leave. That's fine. I'm fine. How are you? Oh my god. And no one changed their logo to a rainbow this Pride Month. Yeah. It's oh. Canceling Napoleon by sending him to an island. Technically, that was not the French. It was the Prussians and the Russians and the British and the Portuguese and I guess the former French and Italy as well and Vienna and Austria and the Austro-Hungarians and yeah, I guess it was also kind of the Irish and the Scottish and the Spanish and Well, Luxembourg was kind of involved, and oh, actually, you know, I think Greece might have been too. And so some people had some choice opinions. All right, some people were a bit mad, but you know, listen, that's because they couldn't stay winning like Homeboy. They couldn't absolutely single-handedly conquest Europe, I guess. You know, a lot of people ended up in a, bro got friend zone. Soup's ancient. What do you mean? I am only friends with Soup. What do I'm Oliver. What are you talking about, sir? Pick a number, 1 or 2. You'll find out why later. 2. Yeah, 2. Because 1's the loneliest number. They made a song about that. Oh, man. Dang, a lot of people didn't like that guy. Why did you name yourself after him again? Listen, I didn't name myself after him. I named myself after... Don't worry about it. Don't look deep into it, all right? Jess got... Who's Jess? From the Disney show with the lizard? Jesse! Hey, Jesse! Hey, Jesse! Oh, man. Is that show still on? Probably not. It's almost definitely not. No, it's not. I just now am recalling it ended. I was there. Never mind. Not like I was on set. Like I was personally there. Me, myself. I Napoleon VII. I was there. Oh man. I wandered right on up to this. I gave the cast notes. I was like, yes, your acting is stale in this scene, Jesse. You must. That's not your real name, so I wouldn't be saying that if you were the actor. But for the life of me, I cannot. I mean, the only other name coming to mind is Bailey, and that's literally just your other character from A Sweet Life on Deck. But you know, those are the only names I know you by, and I do not know the actress's name. Nor do I think they were in much beyond that. Maybe guested on Wizards of Waverly Place. Maybe. I think I have the best IRL. The best. The best? Is your IRL name the best? It literally, you are the, best? What's that scuttling noise? Oh, the spider. Probably just below. It's fine. Debbie Ryan! Yeah, little Debbie! Debbie Ryan! Yeah! I recall that name. Do they still do things? Are they still an actress? Bro was I was Mr. Kipling. Which in hindsight, did they name that after, like, the author? Like, Rudyard Kipling? Like, did they name the Kimono Dragon after the author? This is a little messed up. I think that's a little messed up given the history that author has. My god. The name I use with most people is Sad. Hey, Pog. That is actually pretty sick. I'm a radio rebel. What does that mean? What does that mean? Chat is, by the way, today, we got big things. Big things. We got to do path work. I want to work on, as copper oxidizing will allow, I would like to get more done on the giant greenhouse we're building. Though I may need to go see if I left copper in any of my other locations, because I do need more copper, but I don't really want to do a whole bunch of mining today, but we might have to. Because I just need to get this imprint down, because a lot of it's glass. I don't have much to worry about once I got the glass going. But we're also gonna need some green dye now that I think about it for that glass, so that might itself present an issue. That might be an issue, but we'll cross that bridge when we burn it. Oh, man. I got fired because I fainted during work? Is that a fireable offense? I feel like that's illegal. I could be wrong. I thought Disney Channel was too girly, person who gonna... I mean, what are you saying about my tastes in television shows? What are you implying? What are you saying to me? Hmm? Let's go see if I do have any copper left in the mine, actually, now that I think about it. Just to be sure that I didn't leave anything down there. You may or may not look like a villain. Me? I look like a villain? I mean, wonderful. I've always been on my villain. I've been the villain of this whole series. I mean, realistically speaking, I showed up to this lovely, quaint little village and industrialized the absolute living Christ out of it. I mean, like I brought just pain and suffering and really good prices on an easy bake oven. You know, I brought all the qualms of the Industrial Revolution to this land. Arguably, I am the villain of this story. It is true. You know, it depends on your outlook on how valuable industrialization is or is not for a society. Cause boy howdy, did I industrialize this place. Capitalism arc? Oh, we've been on the capitalism arc. Worry not. This stream sponsored by Curiosity. By HelloFresh as you Curiosity Raycon while you... Oh my god. Can you imagine? Oh man. Oh, mighty Lord Napoleon. Yo, Thunder, dude, what's up, man? Look upon your citizens with contempt. I broke my phone screen and need a new one. Please do assist me. Well, I'm not so hot at the whole fixing phone thing. We do have some villain art of it. Oh, that's true. There is some. I don't know. The guy I was working for was paying me under the table. Oh, so it was already illegal. Okay. When are you gonna see Spider-Verse 2? Hopefully this week, honestly. It just depends on a number of things, because a lot of things are taking up my time this week that, you know, have resulted in me canceling a lot of plans. So I don't know if I will or won't be seeing it this week, but I kind of hope I get to, because I would love to be able to get to see it this week. I really do not wish to be spoiled on it, and I haven't been yet, which is big plug. It's big plug to not be spoiled on something that you really want to not be spoiled on. Chatters, please don't spoil me on it. You know, so like all things considered though, it could be going a lot worse. I'm gonna just lurk now to finish the draw. Sure thing, random. Man, oh man. Pink really just was like, oh no, he's been a villain. He been being a villain. Like just go look at the channel. There are numerous instances actually. It is. Oh boy, it's I don't want to use the word concerning, but oh my god. Let me drop this. I'll keep that. Bap. Boop. Bap. 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 That's probably good. That's probably a spoopy scary cave. Oh yeah. The spoopiest. The scariest. The most heart-pounding experience you'll have this year, this summer. At the Blockbuster Movie Theater Extravaganza. You won't want to miss. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Ryan Reynolds playing the same character for the 90th time. But, you know, people still like it, so that's fine, I guess. The Rock still playing the same character for the 11 billionth time. And many more actors. All in a Quantum Mania multiversal experience because we're out of ideas. I mean, what? Oh, man. Rest easy, my hammer and sickle, for there will be an optimal time to... You wouldn't dare! Please! Oh my god. Not the gentry! This was illegal? What was illegal? Oh yeah, no, getting paid under the table is illegal to begin with. But also, yeah, like, that's not like it's not a reasonable firing term. So yes, it would be illegal to do that, yes. But just in general, like, if you're being paid under the table, it's already illegal, because, well, you're not paying taxes. You need to, don't tell people you don't pay. That's kind of something you keep to yourself. That's I don't even, depending on your state, that's also against labor laws. Like, that's, oh man. Oh man. Also, do keep ages out of chat. Yes, 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 yes. Man, oh man. Chatters! How was the weekend? How was the weekend? You guys enjoy yourself? Did you take in the fun times? Did you see a good movie? Did you do a fun thing? I ran another session of my Call of Cthulhu game on set aboard the Titanic, and it was wonderful. It's definitely gonna go into another session, but like, you know, it's because they only got through one day, namely because things just got away from them, and you know, they ran into a priest. It was a whole lot. It was a bunch of stuff, but my god, it was spectacular. I was big happy, and they did hit the tip of the iceberg when it comes to you know, some horrific things. One of them doesn't know it yet, but well, they're dead. But you know, they think they just had a bad dream. So you know, but in actuality, they've failed enough roles. They've been replaced with the Skinwalker. They just don't realize it. They don't know that their character is already dead, and in an upcoming event, if they get this far into it, their character will in fact split in half and be made mostly of teeth. But that's besides the point. Who cares? I mean, who's not mostly made of teeth? You know? Yeah. Yeah. So if they hear a certain clicking noise, well, boy howdy. Oh, also blood smells sweet to them now. So there are clues. They could figure out that they are in fact now part of this hive mind. But for now, they just think they had a really bad dream. They just think they had a really bad dream. But yeah, they saw the ruined remains of the bellboy. And boy howdy, was it good. You know, raspberry jam has a certain viscous idea to it that I think it conveys a good amount of like if you see a room wall to wall coated with dripping raspberry jam, well, you know, amongst other things that I'm not gonna say on Twitch, but you know. Also, do you ever just read into the elasticity of innards? It's wild, man. It's a wild time. But anyway, so yeah, they failed a couple dodge rolls. Hey, in fairness, they knew what they were getting into. They they split off from everybody else, decided to go out past midnight for a cigarette on the top deck, and when they heard a noise and then saw wet footprints leading into the ship and seaweed and stuff like that, they followed it. They followed it like a fool! Oh, man. This isn't the most shocking revelation I've had from Napoleon in the stream, to be fair. What? Well, now I need to know. Top 10 most shocking revelations of a Napoleon VII stream. What? What are the top ones? Oh, my God. I had this really big thing I had to go on for the weekend. I didn't like, oh, that sucks that it wasn't fun for you. Normally big things like that could at least be like fun, even if they might be like a little stressful or like take up a lot of your weekend, but that sucks if it wasn't even fun. That's kind of crummy. Up since 6 a.m. Oh! The birds be chirping. The sun's just peeking over the mountain. My God. The town's is still asleep for some. Someone got gibbed, huh? Yeah. I had to march? Good Lord. You had to go back in time 3 months? That's crazy. What a stupid joke. What a dumb joke. That wasn't even funny. That was that's yeah, how was your weekend? I got sent back in time 3 months, huh? I had to march. Okay, you know what? That deserved hydrate. That's deserved. I'll accept. My God. You know, it wasn't my worst, but it certainly wasn't my best. Really swinging for the fences? Hey, listen, Napoleon VII. When he's good, he's great. When he's funny, oh boy, gut busted. But boy, is there a lot of sludge to drudge through in those sewers before you find the main line. My God. Got a couple alligators to fight, too. Sweet Christmas. Hello? I don't like the spoopy cave noises. I don't like them. They concern me greatly. Top 10 revelations, number 5 will surprise you. Oh my god. The number 5, that Denmark's actually the capital of Sweden. Man, oh man. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of wild things to be learned, all from Napoleon the Seventh. I'm gonna start gaslighting you, chat. I'm gonna start just I've built a rapport of knowing random things, and now I'm just gonna start hucking out absolute falsehoods. Just say them with just my whole chest and hope to God no one will. You know you're too nice. I am not nice. What part of toxic don't you understand? I could be a very mean, bad guy. You don't know. I could absolutely twist a twister of waltz. It's all the same schmaltz, but just changing the scenery. You'll never be passe, hip hooray, you're timeless to me. Sorry, I John Travolta, it's a long story. I mean, I need this calcite, but why did this spawn this way? I mean, cool, but why is it spawned like that? That's such a weird spawning. Oh man, what a weird shell. All right, I mean, you know, this is good. We'll be back for the calcite here, but boy howdy, this is not really what I'm here for right now. I mean, I'm gonna need it for the castle eventually, but what I mostly need is copper. I plan to get as much copper in my paws on as much copper as possible, and then from there see where we can go. But good gracious. I feel like finding out I wanted to become an archaeologist from one of your streams was a big one. Yo, dude. I mean, I highly recommend it. Sick job, genuinely. Really cool, really immersive, really fun. I mean, I'm obviously quite biased to anybody wanting to study history, but you know, that in any capacity, be that an archaeological practice or a more academically and oriented practice of history. But you know, big pog, dude. You should pursue that. So sick. Bow, bow, bow. But I like knowing things you like. No! He's at his villain arc already. Yeah, exactly! See, Pink, I'm not too nice. They know I could be a villain. You think you could stop me? Oh, also, speaking of, how tired are you now? Did you break your legs? I'm curious now. I'm not going to explain either to the chat, so L to them, but are your legs broken? Have you seen yourself? I have glanced once upon a mirror and then instantly shattered it like the Beast, what with Beauty and the Beast, because I too was cursed by a witch, for I did not share my Taco Bell. It was a tragedy. It was and she cursed me instantly and I went, oh! Actually, I've never had Taco Bell, but you know, I mean, like, I've seen them, I've just never bought from them. I have no interest in it. I just, it seems whatever. Oh man. They always spawn like that? What do you mean? Not all of them, but a lot of them? I mean, I thought they normally spawned pretty, like, succinctly on top of each other, like, except for caves where it would have this kind of like open area, but because this isn't in a cave, normally when it's not in a cave, it's more of like a solid sphere. But this doesn't have any of the purple in it. That's all I meant. It's normally like a sphere if it's not in a cave. You never had a Crunchwrap? Nope. I've never had anything from Taco Bell. Like, I've just never had Taco Bell. I wasn't allowed as a kid, and so then because you know, it was an affront to some people I knew, so I was like, oh, okay. And then even beyond that, it was just, you know, like, it was, yeah, no, you're not having Taco Bell. And I was like, okay. Chat, I mean, I think I've said this before. Like, there's a lot of things that growing up that I never had. I also never had, like, a sugary cereal kind of thing. I've had one since. Like, relatively, like, you know, like, you know, in the grand prospects of, like, university, I've been able to have, like, sugary cereal, but, like, prior to that, no. Well, actually, no, when we would go camping, I was allowed if we were camping. We would do it then. And that was joyous. I at that point tried Fruit Loops, I think, once. And I think maybe Frosted Flakes. And that is it. They were tiny little boxes of them. And I would get those because we were camping, and it would be pouring rain, and I would be soaked, and I built I built shelter and stuff like that. And it'd be like, here's this, and it would be joyous. It would be I would be singing the praise of this camping trip afterwards, solely because I got to try something like that. But you know, that was just kind of like the whole thing. If I took out, what do you mean? See, Pink, I'm not too nice. So wait, no, did you that you didn't answer my question, Pink? Could you walk to the? Did you get obliterated by your own march, by your own quadruple hike or whatever? Like twice. It ain't bad. Def feels fast foody. I mean, it's more just like, you know, it never seems good. So like I've only like that's the thing with Taco Bell. No one's ever told me good things about Taco Bell. Just like all that you hear about Taco Bell is, you know, the aftermath it leaves with people. And so like for me, I'm like, why would I welcome that into my life? Why would that be something I wish to do? That would be ugh. Well, Snap will never get to the level of gaslighting that Friedrich R. Ewing achieved to keep dreaming. Huh? Is the single greatest food item to ever exist? Wrong. Strawberry rhubarb pie is the single greatest food item to ever exist. No one will ever be allowed to top that. If they try, I will in fact shoot. Never mind. I will end them. Oh man. The rare special treat of Frosted Flakes. Yeah. I don't know, maybe that's weird, I guess. I don't know, but for me, that was like a thing. It was like, yeah, you want to laugh. I want to make a history joke. Is that okay if I do? Yeah. I mean, within taste, there's certain historical events to probably not joke about, but you know, so long as it's not like I mean, feel free, dude. Just recognize, you know, chat's PG-13 and so long as that's not like, I don't know, anti-Semitic or awful or whatever, then like, yeah, fill your boots, dude. It's very obviously fast food and not trying to hit it. Do you mind? I'm trying to read comments about fast food. Do you guys remember that time, like eons and eons ago, so my I have this video that I've been shown at least 100 times now. It's the funniest thing to me. So like I have a cousin who basically, there was a like KFC thing that happened where they made a sandwich, but it was like it was chicken instead of buns. I don't know if they still sell this or not. I also don't really eat KFC, but like it was this thing of like of like a sandwich, but it was like 2 chicken breasts, I guess, were the buns. I think it's like double down or triple down or something like that. Anyway, whatever it is, or it was wild. They have this video of them holding it, and it's like in the like wrapping, and it's so greasy and salty that it actually eats through the wax paper, and then like slaws out of it, like just, and it just is totally slaws out of this. Out of its own wax paper. How does something eat through wax paper like that, man? It's insane. It's bonkers. That shouldn't be allowed. McDonald's ice cream when it's working. Ooh, McDonald's ice cream's pretty good. Personally, I prefer DQs, but you know, I can understand. I think a Blizzard is better than a McFlurry, personally. Then went square dancing, then went hiking again. Part of that hike included rock climbing. And you're not you're not dying today? Salutations and formal greetings. How are you all on this lovely day? I'm doing great, Dungeon. How are you? Hopefully the weekend treated you well. Dude, what you been reading? You've always got a book on the go, so what you been reading, pal of mine? What you been doing? What have you been up to? Yo, today it sounds like you're talking about my childhood. Ah, yes, back in 1902. Oh, I'm sorry. That's mean. That's mean. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. It's mean. It's mean and I don't mean it. I see no point in a history degree because there's no future in it. I have a prof who has that as a poster. I've heard that joke before. It's been from my it's in one of my professor's offices. It's oh my god. I've had a donut burger and it wasn't even from a fast food place. But it was like actual sit-down restaurant. It wasn't like a plain donut. It was completely glazed. It was so gross. Yes, I've seen those. I've just never bought one because it felt like a lot. You know, it's kind of like fair food. You know what I mean? Like where they're like deep fries, Mars, blah. And I'm like, huh? You deep fried a candy bar? Why? Was it not enough? Was the candy bar not enough? A bit sore, but no major pain. Yo, Pog, dude. I'm still not over the fact that you don't know Ewan's writing. I mean, I might off the top of my head. It's not ringing a bell. I'll be honest with you. Like if you gun to my head today, I got nothing for you, man. I'm only thinking of Patrick Ewing, who's not who you're talking about. So like all things considered, doing absolutely lovely. Still reading 1984, sick, annotated the heck out of it. But right after I finished, I'm reading Kafka. Ooh, big pog, big pog. Have you read 1984 before? I don't know if I asked. I know you mentioned that you were reading it last time and doing all the annotations, but I don't know if I actually asked last time if this is a reread or first time read of 1984 for you. Because I'm always interested, like when it's people's like first times approaching it kind of thing. It's okay, Nips. I know you. No, you don't. I am older. So far as it matters from now on, anybody asks, I'm older than everyone in chat. I don't care if, I don't know, Christopher Plummer comes into chat. Like I'm older. I don't care if Andy Serkis. Well, actually, he's not that old. I don't care if Dick Van Dyke comes into chat. I'm older. I'm older than everyone. Them's the rules. I'm the wise old sage on a hill. Come speak unto me and hear from me, mere mortal. My wisdom imparted unto ye. On the third day I said, let there be light. Chat is never show, for those of you who this is a possibility of, never let your parents see it. I get the feeling that I am slowly becoming what one might call a brand Rick. I feel it is a problem with how sacrilege I may or may not be. I feel like people will have problems with that. Oh man. He wrote your my favorite book. Oh, so I haven't heard of the man who didn't write the book that doesn't exist? Is that what I'm hearing? Play it off as something good. It felt awful to touch. Me and my friend talked today about how gross sticky stuff like syrup is. A glazed donut burger, awful. Yeah, it would be. He just kind of bugs me. Fair, valid. It's the first reading. I'm trying to foreshadow everything. Yo, Stevie8273. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, dude. Hello, welcome. Automod, what do you mean? It's his name. It's his name. What? That's just a name, Pink. What do you mean? I'm gonna read Letter to My Father because I got a funky little book with lots of his works. Oh, Big Pog. He actually wrote the physical book after the fact. This is my comfort joke. You know what? Valid, King. Honestly, valid. How are you? I'm great, man. How about yourself? Are you living La Vida Loca? How was the weekend? Hopefully Pog. Oh, speaking of, I don't know how many of you did or didn't tune into it. It was, I was watching Phil's, so that's how it worked. But yeah, there was that One of Us charity event this weekend. So I'm glad to see that there was some solid money raised for the Sarcoma Foundation and stuff like that. That's Big Pog, man. That's Big Pog. That was a fun little thing to have occurred this past weekend. Oh, man. Yeah, but Automod isn't that smart. Yeah, it is. You leave Automod alone. Leave him alone. Go to a con. I'm giving you a copy. I like to think that you say that, and then what it's gonna be is like hurled at me at Mach 2 speeds is a copy of this book, like just a tome of a book hurling towards me, and I go, oh, and then it just absolutely dices me. Man, honestly, valid, fair. Are you good at Minecraft? I am, in fact, cracked at the craft. This is my hardcore world. I've had it for nearly 2 years, so I would say I'm pretty decent. I think there is a witch in here, which I kind of don't like, I'm not gonna lie, but there's also copper, so I will, in fact, risk it all. Oh. Sounded like there was a witch in here. I guess not! Just copper? Wonderful, wonderful news! But yeah, no, I'd say I'm pretty cracked at the craft. I'd say I'm pretty good. Or at least I'm good at staying alive and avoiding danger. So take from that what you will. You know, all things considered. If you value how long you can stay alive, that's, I suppose, the real tell of whether or not you think I am any good at Minecraft. When it comes to, like, speed bridging, stuff like that, no. I am absolute garbaggio. Don't even look at me. You will be physically ill. Physically ill trying to watch me in anything that's like a Hypixel style game. Don't even get me started on parkour. Honestly, just the staying alive part is really what I've cornered the market on. That and like lore, I guess. but you will you will need a fainting couch if you see anything that's normally seen as like, oh, they're good at Minecraft. Those not good standards for myself. A big book that's completely empty, except for a single page in the middle that said made you look. Oh my god. It'd be funny to give you the book that's completely blank and say I Libertad a copy of the real book. Oh my god. Both. A back-to-back feature. Oh my god. Was $3 and is around 600 pages absolutely insane to me? Well, isn't it public domain? I could be wrong, but isn't it? It might not be, but I think it is, so that might be why. Might be copper up here. You never know, chatters. Copper could be hiding around any given corner. Copper? Copper? Copper! See, I knew it. I could tell. I looked in this direction and I went, and I knew there was copper. Not a lot, but I knew there was some. I could smell it. I could smell its metallic existence. I knew this was what would be around the bend. Even beyond the hot magma. Oh my god. Not getting sick here by his Minecraft skills. I don't even know if that was meant to be a dig at me, but I'm gonna me you anyway. Call me 100 Gex because I'm gonna me. It's a joke for anybody who listens to 100 Gex, which this chat is either a lot of you or none of you now that I think about it. So it's either a good portion or literally none, and probably for good reason. On this stream so far, Nap didn't get it. The only good joke? You're saying that like I am not in fact standing right in front of you. I'm a great joke. I am a wonderful joke. How dare you? I am a sweet treat and a delight to be around and just hilarity incarnate. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Behold, a grown person weeping. Oh my god. You're funny. I like Stevie. The rest of you chat could learn from Stevie. The rest of you could learn a thing or two. Oh my god. I think I understand the Tiger, my beloved. Somebody gets it. Somebody. Oh my god. Oh, another Napoleon Street revelation. I figured out. I was trans man here. Hey, yo, Pog. There you go. There's another. I take absolutely zero credit. I don't think I don't think that's something that can be attached to me, but you know, Pong anyway. Yo. Oh man. Oh yeah, chatters. I was gonna say, well, the current sub goal that we are quite close to is the Zelda week. Originally that was gonna change in June. The only reason it hasn't because there was interest expressed for a Zelda week. But I was gonna say there's what I was originally gonna do was take a what I was originally gonna do was take a poll for a list of 5 games that are all, like, you know, fairly LGBT centered or made by LGBT artists or for good for causes or something like that. And then we could have done a week of like a different game every day, and each one of those games would have to do with something like that. Because, you know, I thought that was I thought that might be a fun thing to do during Pride Month. I was like, that might be fun for chat. But I don't know. I don't know if one versus the other's of more appeal or not. You know what I mean? Oh man, narcissist. A narcissist? Oh my god, how'd you know? How'd you... Well, how'd you know? Jeez. Oh my god. You know, they called me a narcissist. I said, I'm not a narcissist. I'm the nice the most. Oh. Oh my god. I plan on getting this other week goal finished Friday. Please don't change it. Oh my god. Hey, I was just saying because originally it was gonna end in May, so that's why I was like, oh yeah, I was meant to change it over for June, so I thought I'd put the offer in was all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what's a great LGBT game made by Celeste? Never heard of it. What's that like? What's that game? Celeste. Sounds like all the rest. Oh. So stupid. Why is there not more copper? Why is this we've made it super easy to find copper. We've made massive veins of it. I have found 32, 12 of which I started with. What do you mean, Minecraft? You've done nothing. You've changed nothing. It's still difficult to find. I just want to build with the color changing rock. Is that too much to ask for? You know what they need to add into Minecraft next? They need to add in, you know, those little sponge things from the 90s that were like they like turned into dinosaurs. Like you'd put them in water. They were like little pills or whatever. And they'd be like, oh, they'd be like, oh yeah, you put it in water and watch it grow. And it'd be like, yeah, woo. They need to add that into Minecraft. I want every mob to be able to be transferable that way. I want to be able to dehydrate and rehydrate every mob in Minecraft to transport them. I want to get out a shulker box and fill it with dehydrated mobs, which is effectively spawn eggs. But this way I could make the spawn egg. You see? You see how that works? Now you think that's too much to ask for? You think that'd be asking for too much from old Mojang? You think they'd see that as a bridge too far? That would be their bridge over the River Kwai that they couldn't cross? Maybe it might be out of the purview of what Agnes really wants to get into for updates in Minecraft. In fact, particularly given they tend to take a massive humanitarian look at things, and that they try to add mobs with the specific interest of like humanitarian aid, they might see that as a problem. Bye, Stevie. RIP to you, but I get plenty of copper. Maybe it's a skill issue. No, maybe it's that I made this world in 1.17, and so all of that additional changes, I would actually have to truly leave my spawn area to like the village. I'm mining under a village that was spawned into 1.17. I cannot take advantage of the majority of changes that have occurred just because those are like really far out and away from where I currently live in the game. Oh man. As I need to get, oh my god, Tyler, you don't have to do that. It'll happen eventually, I'm sure. Good lord. Shadows, you are insane. Because my concern is that because it's later in the week, dude, like some drop occurs normally. I don't want it to like drop down a lot and then you to be like, oh, now I gotta do that. Like if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It'll be fine. We're like around the sub drop time. That's not like the time to be like, oh, I don't care the price. Oh my god. Bah. Bah. More copper. Perfect. Only 3 pieces, really? Really, game? Really? Only 3? Wow, that's kind of stupendously awful. Why would you do that to me? Oh, man. See what MJ sent everyone but Oh! You meanies? You meanie bobinis? Are you hiding things from me? I did not just call you that. Never mind. I take that back. I don't say that phrase. That is not something that... No. Listen, I am... not to be trifled with. I'm a dangerous man, Jatters. I'm so cool and mysterious and awesome. Oh my god. Support sub goal idea, but I'm also crazy, Nap. I don't know if you saw my message in sub chat about beating the game, but this story, I want a week of it. Oh my god. Maybe. I'm gonna make combustible lemons? What does that mean exactly? What do you mean? What? Huh? What in God's name do you, what does combustible lemons mean? I mean, hey, it might make a heck of a pie now that I think about it. A heck of a lemon meringue pie. Speaking of, I'll be honest, Shatters, I'm gonna take a real hot take here for a second. Which is a hot take only amongst people that I've ever known who cared about baking, but still, lemon meringue pie, kind of mid, not that good of a pie. I don't really, personally, I think there's better pies. I think lemon meringue, while decent, you know, it's never like one that I'm like, oh boy, give me a slice of that. Not gonna lie. Such a new phrase. It's not a me phrase. Leave me alone. Oh my god. The copper's trying to run away because it knows you're a narcissist. No, that should mean that I'm more magnetic. My personality. It should attract the copper. I'll oxidize it so fast with how much I talk. It should want to see me. Oh man. Nab, you literally played Portal 2, you heard the lemon rant. Oh! Guys, I played Portal 2, like, almost a year ago. We finished Portal 2 before Minecraft Live. Like, that was what, like September into October? It's now June of the following year. Oh man. Actually, I still need to redo Portal because I was gonna do that with I was gonna do the co-op mode with the robots. I was gonna do co-op Portal. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that's like on my list. That's on one of the sub goal lists. I remember was because I think somebody had been like, you should make that sub goal, and I was like, okay. I forgot about that. That's yeah. I should cycle that one in again. Cause yeah. Did you see my message about Zelda in sub chat? Because I will repeat myself if you didn't. I feel like I did see it, but saw a spoiler tag and then got worried that there might be spoilers in it, and so then I just didn't really read it, just because I was worried that it might tell me something about the game, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't read this. Sounds like it's time for a replay. Happens to the best of us. Well, you know, when you get to be my age, you start to forget things, you know? It all starts to slip away. It all really starts to turn to ash in your mind, you know? And you just go, huh? What? What's going on? Who are you people? Did I leave copper? Okay, no, there's just literally... Wow, I just perfectly found 64 copper. One spoiler tag, one sentence, and I got worried. I went, no. I must avoid the spoilers. They would all be very displeased with me if I went ahead and found spot. Is it a ravine or is it something actually useful? Where are you? Where? Where? Oh, here they are. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Hey, come here. You want a balloon? We all float down here. Get it? I am like the clown from the movie It. I am like the clown from the hit summer blockbuster It. Ow! 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 Oh man. Does that play to the demographics in chat? Does that am I hitting all 4 quadrants, chatters? Am I being relatable and quirky? Am I being all that I need to be? Am I being brand friendly? Please, chatter! Oh my god. One second there, Mr. Zombie. I just gotta get this coal real quick. I gotta get a bunch of coal out of here first. Eh, 32 is good enough. Move that there. Gotta go! Spoopy, scary zombies. Zombies? The zombies are doing Zumba. They're gonna have great aerobics. That doesn't even make sense. You don't get aerobic. That's not, they're gonna have great, anything else would have worked. Like any body part I could have said, but then I stopped myself because I was like, oh no, that I shouldn't say that. And then I was like, well, why? That's just, anyway. Oh my god. Lovely cave system you guys got here, but I don't really see much copper, if I'm being honest. I don't really see much copper. I'm being totally for reals with yous. I don't really see much copper, and it's kind of all that I'm down here for. I just would like to get some copper. Is that really not too much to ask for? Probably. Seems like it. Hey! Hey, you stop that. You said you would stay away. Obliterated. First shot. I never missed. My jokes might be hit or miss, but I never miss, huh? Ow! Copper! Oh my god, there's copper! This is the greatest day of my life. Nothing will ever surpass this. Not even marriage. And I'll tell them that to their face. On the day, like at the altar, I'll say, this is a great day. What about the day that what about the day that you found copper? You're right. This day's not even close. It's honestly a real far back second place. Cause boy howdy, finding that copper, it was like nothing before. I mean, that's deep slate copper, which isn't like bad. I don't have a deep slate stack started, so it's a little annoying. But you know, whatever. I guess it's fine. I guess I'll live with it. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't need that crystal. I beat the game 3 times last night. What do you mean 3 times? Because I missed a bonus opportunity and it crashed halfway through the second fight and it was hard. But I also did everything, and if someone were to say beat a boss with 4 hearts, it would be harder. I think you will, Jen, adore all the memories and how they tie together, because I did. The little storytelling you can find. I like Zelda lore conceptually, but I adore it. And Zelda's personality, characterization of Breath of the Wild so much. and I'm so excited to get to Tears of the Kingdom. Yo, Pog review. Pog review. You know what? I'm gonna need a review corner with MJ going forward. I'm gonna need reviews with the chat. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need you guys to give me your opinions on random games, because that makes me excited to play games way more, is what I know other people are like, oh, there's actually, like, playing Portal was so fun because I knew nothing about it going in, and it was like just this really cool kind of experience type thing to have with chat, if that makes sense. So that was like always really fun to me. So I'm so excited whenever I get to play games like that. So I'm glad to hear that it's cool. I'm glad to hear that it's like big pog and fun, not just like a game that was big for, you know, just being big, like well known for being well known, you know what I mean? Not that I ever thought it was per se, just like it's good to get like an idea going into something that it's like as good as people think it is, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does or doesn't, but I value the opinions I get from you, chatters. That's, I guess, what I'm saying. I put stock into the opinions I get from you because you've never steered me wrong with game recommendations. Recommendations of games like Celeste, of games like, games like, what do you call it? Portal, games like, I mean, honestly, Little Nightmares was really fun. So, like it's terrifying as it was. And why is there just a straight pit drop? Okay, whatever. As terrifying as it was still like a really pretty game and like really cool. Probably the only game that you guys have ever recommended me that I think is absolute garbage is Dead by Daylight. That's probably the only one that I think is hot garbage, but all right. I mean, you know, that's probably just that may or may not be a matter of opinion. You know, that I mean, I'm factually correct, but you know, like I could I can understand somebody having a different opinion on that, I guess. But you know, that's, you know, I guess I can understand maybe somebody taking a slightly different take on that. Why is there no copper anywhere? Oh man. No one plays games. Oh, well, dude, I love going in blind. I don't ever, like, I try to never know anything going into a game. I've talked to people before, because, you know, I've been recommended that I should look into games before playing them so that I can know a bit better about, like, you know, oh, like, is this gonna fit or jive with the audience you have, or is this like something that you can make content with later, or etc., or like how long, like the most I'll ever look is maybe like how long a game is, just to know how many streams it'll likely take up. But otherwise, I love going in blind, man. There's nothing better than like just getting surprised by a game. I don't want to know things going into games. I want to have the experience of slowly unraveling stories before me, before my very eyes. What in God's name is this loop-de-loopin' pole SpongeBob tying his shoe type beat right now? Why am I absolutely getting geschmeckled by random caves that don't lead me to copper? All I need is one little block, one scruggly little guy of a block. Is that too much to ask for? Oh, thank God. And it was one. Okay. All right. I see you, game. I see you. You think you're funny. You think you're hugely funny, don't you? You think you're an absolute riot. Well, guess what, buckaroo? I'm gonna burn this game to the ground. Oh my God! No, I'm out. I'll do. I personally didn't recommend that for you to enjoy it. That was for me to enjoy. Oh my God. I joined at the wrong time? No. Well, see, the issue there is that you think there's a right time to join. You think that there's gonna be a moment you join where I'm gonna be like, oh yes, I'm in my right mind and nothing is going wrong. Though, funnily enough, I think this is the second time you have joined while I've been looking for copper, so that is quite some timing, to be sure. All right, we're just gonna retrace our steps. We're just gonna leave. We're just gonna get out of here. Place is lame. No copper heaven, lame. Lamos, bunch of lamos. Real lame people here. No copper. Huh, lame. Bunch of idiots. Bunch of fools. I absolutely rock'em sock'em my own robot there. I just loop-de-loop. How are caves this spaghetti coated, but not coated to have... Do you see how much iron there is? But no copper. That would be a bridge too far, man. Good Google-y Moogly. Good great Googly Moogly me. Why? Every single time I join, something always happened with you. I'm just where things are happening, man. I'm a hip happening dude. Such a stupid. Oh my god. No, this is not the way. Back the other way. I gotta retrace my steps. Or maybe this was it. Yes, this is where I dug up into, isn't it? Yes, it is. Perfect. You know what? This is enough copper for now. It's a stack and a half almost. That's and I'm gonna go get it set up. I would like to work on the castle or something else. Border's like 15 years old. It's so difficult to go in blind. I got so lucky going in blind with the Half-Life series, which is over 25 years old, except for the VR game because I didn't think I'd ever get it. Breath of the Wild is 6 years old. I know the beats of Breath of the Wild, but I didn't know the specifics of the memories, and I love them so much. How they tie together and how they make Zelda a real character. I love her so much, and the special scene. I replayed the boss fight twice to see the bonus. Yo, big pog. I mean, it's good to know there is a bonus. That means I probably will try to beat it twice then, if that's what you got to do for that. You're my favorite. Oh my god! You can't come in here and be nice. What? This is a chat that's meant to bully me. What are you? Don't mean I will cry. Don't you? People aren't allowed to come into a Napoleon stream and be nice. This is a more wretched hive and scum and villainy you've never seen. This is Mos Eisley Spaceport. What do you mean? What in the name of Samuel Carlin do you mean? Oh my god. I'm making my room cold because I want to turn myself into a cocoon? Huh? Like a butterfly cocoon? Like you're like, I wish to be cold so that then my body will reject life and will instead say, no, we must change. We must cocoon and erupt later in spring with new thoughts and ideas and a new life to live. I mean, that's kind of metal, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of sick. Kind of awesome. More. But wait, there's more. There really wasn't more. That was a lie. That was a lie told to me by the capitalist empire. Oh man. I'm eating macaroni salad. Ooh, I would kill for some macaroni salad now that I think about it. That would be really good right now. You know, of all the things it could be, macaroni salad. Yeah, I actually, Cheddar's summer salads. What are your own favorite summer salad? Like the kind that you don't ever have outside of summer. I'm talking about things like different types of pasta salads, or like a potato salad, or like there's some people who like, I don't know. I personally am not a fan of bean salad, but I know that is something that like people like. Just classics like Caesar salads and stuff like that. I don't know. I like a barbecue and like a solid like selection or whatever. Poggers!
Hey, look at that, 8 months away from 2 years.
Yo, killer! Thank you so much, dude. Oh my god, 16 months. Flies by, man. Flies by. I hope you've been well, man. I hope you've been keeping well. Thank you so much for the resub, dude. Oh my god. Yo, Dragoncore, dude, what's up, man? Almost called you Nastable. Too much Undertale. But anyway, hello. Greetings, everyone. Hello, Dragoncore. Hello. Oh my god. Oh my god. Good gracious. Where's all the copper? I swear to god. I freaking love potatoes. It's so good, man. It's so good. Genuinely. Give me copper. Some potato salad with like, you have it with like ribs or like burgers or something like that. Oh my god. There's this one guy who like, he's like a block or two away from where I like lived growing up kind of thing. And my god, I'd sneak on over anytime I could just to be, if I knew the man was barbecuing, I'd be like, please. I just need some of the barbecue. Oh. That was fine. He normally let me know he was going to be anyway, because he was like, hey, just, barbecue this weekend. And then I'd just slip away. I'd slip away and I'd go fill a plate and I'd be like, this is the greatest day of my life. Anything cold? Honestly, valid take. You know, I find it very interesting, the difference between, like, I don't know, like, okay, what I'm about to say is gonna, like, make zero sense. There's no science backing this up, but certain foods just in the summer are both summer foods and just taste better. Like, I feel I would be sad trying to eat certain, like, summer foods in the middle of, like, the winter if there was, like, slush and snow outside kind of thing, or even if it was just cold, like I want, like, hearty, like, hot hearty foods during the winter and during the summer and spring and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously what I'm saying is effectively seasonal foods are good, which is not a hot take in the slightest. It's the most agreeable milquetoast take I think I could have. But what I mean is it just boggles my mind why it tastes so much better. Like, when you get, like, a barbecue burger and then you're like that's just like one of those, like, at home burgers. It's not like uniform like a McDonald's burger or anything like that. And then you add to it, like, your own little top and stuff like that. Somebody made some sort of, like, chili sauce to put on it too. And then you just slap one of them Kraft singles on it or whatever too. It's like, it's just whatever, like, American cheddar cheese, and you're just going with it. And it is somehow the greatest ever. It's like 7 p.m. It's still light out. It's kind of warm still, but there's a breeze. You're at a park. It's great. This summer's fun, man. I just wish mosquitoes didn't exist. Yo, pretty good out there. Oh man. Collect all the memories, 99% the quest. Try turning it in before you beat the boss. Don't be an idiot and have to replay the fun. Oh my god. Glad to see Nap has friends his own age going on. What's happened to me? Potato salad with a pulled pork. Ooh. Give some fries. Oh, now my. Oh, that's so good, man. Oh my god. I'd kill a man in a video game, but I'd kill a man. Why is it raining? Oh my god. It's, it's as I said, it's the most lukewarm take I probably could have. Like, it's not controversial to say food in summer is good, but, like, what about it makes it good? Like, is there a science to it, or is it just, like, happiness occurs in the summer? Is that, like... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You've talked about this mysterious. What do you mean? There's lots of parks exist places. Lots of parks exist in lots of places. I don't know why you're making it. I'm not making it sound mysterious. I'm just saying it's a park. It's a little park. You never go to, like, a little park or something like that. You've never been like, gee whiz, time to go to a park. No, you don't. I mean, because I'll normally leave the horse fields when I'm done farming for the day, and then, go to the park. Don't worry about it. Don't look too much into it. Don't worry about it. Don't even for a moment worry. They really do still look like Among Us characters. I'm sorry, they do. They look like sideways Among Us characters. I will never not see it, and you will always see it too, because I will point it out every time, because I am not gonna be the only one cursed with this knowledge. I simply refuse to be the only one. I will not burden that cross on my own. No. That is the one and only place Jesus and I differ. I don't bear it all on my own. The one and only place. Namely because I do expect to get crucified at TwitchCon someday. So, that's my hopes. That's my dreams. I think that would be fun. I think that'd be a good way to go. You know, right next to the ball pit thing that they set up that people shatter their spines in. You know, I think that'd be a good way to go. Like of all the ways you could go out, I think that's a pretty good way. I think that's not half bad. You know, that's pretty decent. Of all the ways you could. Oh man. Jove. Oh my god. What do you mean? There's nothing to be made fun of. Oh my god. You guys are villain. You guys are villainous. You're fiends. Absolute debutantes. I swear. Very little, very out of the way. Ow! See, they don't let me sleep. They just, every time they come at me and they won't let me sleep no matter how much I try. They keep me awake. It's devastating, really. I haven't slept since Soup left. Because these same guys keep coming around. And there's nothing to be done about it. Nothing to be done. I forgot about Soup. Forgot about Soup. How could you forget about Soup? He was the best of us. He was so bonkers and cool. And now he's gone. Man. Where'd David go? Oh, at least he's still there. I was like, at least he's still there. Thanks for visually showing us that it's empty. Yes, he left. I felt that was important. You gotta underscore. He gone. He abandoned us. I mean, he went on a journey. He's out having fun. That's all. Not abandoned. He'll come back probably, maybe someday. I almost didn't believe you. Oh, what? You thought that he didn't really leave, and I just had a dream sequence or something? No, he packed up. He left. He took his beds. Both of them. Absolute fiend that he is. Do you mind, sir? I'm trying to get things set up, and it's really unhelpful for you to try to explode next to me. I'm gonna be real. It's very unhelpful. It's extremely unhelpful. Like, I feel like you don't comprehend how deeply unhelpful it is for you to try to explode directly next to my machinery. Like, of all the places to explode, it's one of the worst, probably. Man. The most reliable narrator. Yes! Would I ever leave you astray, chat? Would you imply that I would provide evidence within the story of something occurring that may or may not have actually occurred simply for the fact that I would be then able to be seen as a character as being unreliable for narration of what is truly going on in the world, and therefore make it questionable as to what relation Nap does or does not have to the rest of the village and the world around him, and that you can also begin to question the influence of individual villagers upon Nap, as well as the different gods that apply to the different origins of his world? Chatters! I mean, come on! There's no way! That would be crazy! That would be bonkers! yo, no one ever said this to you, then you ever hear it from me. You know, I'm really proud of you. Aww. That's a very sweet message, Ash. I don't know if that's me or not, but either way. This reliable Stanley Parable. You keep Stanley's name out of your mouth. You keep Stanley's name out of your mouth. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy myself. I'm gonna enjoy this house I built. Take things slow. I can't sleep anymore. The stupid phantoms. And I'll just enjoy myself. It'll be fine. I'll even well, I don't really have any extra food to put on. I got some steak. Boy, I don't really keep much in this house, you know that? Kind of bare bones now that I look at it. Go play CSGO? The second one? Or the first one? But also, bye, Marty again! I needed to take a little sippy poo of my little water. Look at him out there with his stupid shovel. He thinks he's so great. He thinks he's so smart. Yeah, look at him. Look at him with his dumb blue shirt and blue pants. Blue on blue is a bad combo! My God, I bet he thinks he's sick. I bet he thinks he's awesome, that he could do it. He probably thinks he could do a kickflip. Well, you can't! You know, I'm putting an end to this. I'm putting an end to this. No kickflips. Yeah, that's what I thought. No kickflips. Idiot. Idiot. I'm sure it's fine. The rain will clear someday, right? The rain will clear someday. Gonna be watching stream while I play some block game. Ooh! Haven't played in a while, unless you count dungeons. Aw, man. That's the other thing I was gonna talk about earlier. Because I'm sure some of you have seen already. Hello? Goodbye. I'm sure some of you... Don't you try to Phil's on Minecraft me! It's rude and uncalled for! He took like 3 hits. What was that guy made of? He took 3 hits. These guys are jerks, you know that? These guys are bead. Oh, anyway, I was gonna talk about Minecraft Legends. Cause yeah, you know what? I'm guilty of it myself, or not guilty. That's not the right word for it. Cause even I was intending to make more content on it, and I still might. I think I'm not gonna do it's definitely not gonna be a playthrough. It's definitely gonna be more of like an edited thing that comes out. But my God, that game, like, when you launch a month or 2 months ago and only had 54 active players, sure, Game Pass, yeah, sure, whatever. That's not healthy for your game. If it's like, oh, yeah, we're like new and like haven't even gotten to the point of like people should still be kind of interested in a game like that. It's a game also designed for replayability. So it's like, because, you know, it has the PvP mode and it's meant to be a tactical game. Those kind of games, like RTS games, are meant to be like, you go for years with no new content and it's still fun, and then get new content and it revitalizes your game. But man, that thing fell off bad. That's horrid numbers. It was like 24 hours, or like past 24 hours was 70, was peak players in the past 24 hours was 75. At the moment I looked, it was like 50 active players currently, and then like all time is still only about like 6,000. Which, don't get me wrong, they have claimed, and I'm sure they're right if the numbers look the right way, that, you know, Game Pass had 3 million downloads for it. Sure. Sure. How many people played it more than a few seconds? And also, Game Pass isn't really good for, because nobody's buying your game in that way. They're buying Game Pass, and your game happens to be on Game Pass. Anyway, it doesn't look good for the health of that game. That is, woof. Left at the intro cutscene, but also that's awful. Oh my god. I mean, in fairness, that it is a very long intro cutscene. Also, the time, like the time for the load times. I like genuinely that load time you see in the video. Like I meme a little bit for those who have seen the YouTube video where it cuts to like 3 hours later, an eternity later. But genuinely, those load times like were really long. Like longer than some other games that like are way more graphically intense that I've played on my computer. So I'm like, I don't know if it was poorly optimized for PC for load times or what, but it's a little concerning, I will say, that like the game was that bad for loading in. But also, especially because I'm sure that this thing, based on already the stuff that we saw early on, it seems like there's lots of really cool nuggets of lore and interesting things about Minecraft's world. A lot of what's developed in that was developed alongside patch 1.16 or Minecraft 1.16. And so I think in terms of that, 1.16, we get a lot of news about like what the piglins were like, the different types of piglins, different factions, what happened to the nether, all these other things, why there are ruined nether portals. Like all of that's clearly indicated through this game, and it seems like it's gonna ramp up to tell you more, but I played it that one session and I've really not had much desire. I've never has it crossed my mind like, oh yeah, I should go do that, outside of like, oh yeah, I was gonna make a YouTube video. Which if that's my only driving factor to play, which it's not, like I'm interested, it's just like there's so many other games, and I feel bad for it, I guess, is the thing. Because like even like Dungeons is healthier by a long shot, and Dungeons also sold really well. Surprisingly, actually, like surprisingly well for its life. Dungeons has sold quite a few. I was going to melt that copper. I set it up to smelt, but then had to leave because it was creepers. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely something that's like, concerning's not the right word for it, obviously, but it's like, I think they might reorient something. Like, I mean, maybe Microsoft will reorient some things, because now that I think about it, they went straight from like that into Redfall. 2 Microsoft games coming out around the same time, basically instantly flopped for both of them. For different reasons though. Redfall is a buggy mess. Like I didn't really experience bugs at all with my playthrough or in playing Minecraft Legends. I just wasn't really captivated by it, and that's the thing, I also like RTSs. I play Total War, I play Age of Empires, for God's sake, which is like ancient. I've played StarCraft, I've played Civilization. Like I like RTS games, so if they're not catching me with that, that's it's not really good. You know what I mean? But the future lore, yeah, I mean, like, well, especially because it seems in part that this was definitely meant to be like a first go in around the idea of like lore in general. Why is this filling up with that? Huh? This was meant to be filled with coal. But why is it not putting coal into this? Oh my god. All right, let me pause. Let me pause that. I'm gonna take some of those, and then I'm gonna. I think it got gummed up. I think that one got gummed up at one point. Oh, come on. There we go. What happened? You know what? I needed to hydrate. I'll be real. I needed to hydrate. I should drink more water. Like I always forget I meant to drink water, but then like I just don't. Poggers!
It's okay, Nap. I don't understand redstone either.
Yo, Dragoncore, thank you so much for 7 months, dude. Oh my god. Thank you so much for 7 months sub. I don't understand redstone for the life of me. It boggles my mind constantly. This auto smelter is one of this and the pumpkin farm are probably the 2 most complicated redstone farms I've ever made. If that underscores, this is not the pumpkin farm. There's a sugarcane one that I need to actually retool because that one's broken. It was originally bamboo, and then I planted sugarcane, and then I went, oh. But this was also like a fairly complicated one to do. I need to redo the sugarcane one because, as you can kind of see with it, the observers to make it needs to be lowered by 1 basically. It was designed for bamboo. All right, it was designed for bamboo. Listen. It was designed to be a bamboo farm, and it was working great. And then I planted sugarcane, and I forgot the sugarcane only raises 3 off the ground. So not my best move, but alas, all right. I'm gonna go work on the castle, I think, for a bit now that well. I'm waiting for the copper to smelt, I guess, because then I can go set the copper down nearby, so when I'm building that, it will be oxidizing as I'm building. Does that make sense? Where's a crafting table when you need it? Good. Man. Pink said it earlier, by the way, but it's kind of wild that like in a week's time this hardcore world's gonna be 2 weeks old, or 2 weeks, 2 years old. It's gonna be 2 weeks old, guys. Oh my gosh. Because my god, did I not, like, this is my first ever hardcore world, so it blows my mind that I've lived in it for 2 years. How have I not died? I still never even got nether. Like, how have I not died? If anybody has ever died in hardcore, L to them, man. I am built different. Mind you, I could go try to fight the dragon and just die instantly, so who knows? Like, that's the thing. I'm not actually engaged in some of the harder aspects of Minecraft at the same time. I have maybe perpetually kept myself entirely in the safety of just building and fighting mobs. As I built a few from a tutorial. Oh, well, for me, pumpkin farms were a little complicated. I mean, I get them now that I've done it. Like, that's probably my 3rd pumpkin farm I've ever built. But I don't know. It's redstone in general is kind of wizardry to me. Talk about being 2 weeks old. Well, I misspoke. I meant 2 years. Like, this Sunday will be 2 years. I'll probably just stream that Monday because Sundays are a little complicated for me to find time to stream on. So it'll technically be the 12th that we're gonna celebrate on. But yeah, technically, like, I'm gonna be streaming. I have streamed this hardcore world for 2 years, which is nuts. In what world was I ever like gonna live for 2 years on a hardcore world? Continue to make, like, I didn't think anybody would watch. But 2, it boggles my mind. I mean, the amount of you who have been here for 2 years as well, because I mean, it's not technically my 2-year anniversary of streaming per se. That's in January. Like, we've passed that. Like, I've streamed for over 2 years now, but it boggles my mind, I guess, that like realistically, like the moment where more than like just a few people kind of showed up, kind of thing, every stream occurred 2 years ago. Like, that's insane. Yeah, you've been watching for over 2 years now, MJ. You're 2 years and a month is where you're going. Alright, so those will build out that way. Let me just line these up as well. You know, I'm not gonna run all the way back. I'm just gonna move up here. Around the first anniversary. Yeah, my first stream was the stream before it because you were talking about it. Yo, Pog, dude. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, a lot of people have been around for like at various points, kind of thing. I mean, like, I think the chat at this point's more of a mix of like half and half, of like half the people who showed up around the 1 year mark, and then the other half who've just been here forever. But yeah, I don't know, it boggles my mind. It's one of those like little crazy little things where I'm like, wow, I didn't even know if I'd like be here, like streaming this long per se. I mean, I probably was gonna still be streaming, I guess. I just didn't know if I'd still be doing like Minecraft or whatnot, just cause like, I don't know. I would probably stream no matter what, just cause I found it fun. And I still, or I shouldn't say found, and I just find it fun. Like, I just find it enjoyable to stream. I don't know, there's something about it. It's light, it's fine, it's enjoyable. It's a good times, you know? Before starting it, so I joined the first few streams before, and I assume you did. I think you followed before the hardcore world even started. At this point, I don't even remember how I found them. You did. I don't know how you found me either, per se. I mean, so I didn't announce the hardcore world until June, but which is when I think in the first week of June of 2021 is when I announced that because I had the idea. In May to do it that way, but in May is where the lore series on TikTok started and took off, and so I think that is how most people found me originally, was through that TikTok series, because I posted the first one of like, which was only meant to be a week originally. Like, I was like, yeah, all week I'm gonna do a TikTok a day on lore in Minecraft, and then each TikTok got 100,000 views, and I was like, like. And I was like, well, I guess I'll keep going because there's more to talk about. I just didn't think, like, because you gotta realize, like prior to those TikToks, like TikToks I posted got like, 12 views. Like it was 12 or whatever, which is like, I don't know, who cares really? It's not about the viewership. It's more just like, I didn't expect people to be that interested in lore, and I was like, oh, okay, hi. I wanted to go back for that calcite. Back to Logan here. Welcome back, Path. Must be it. I used to use TikTok so much more than I do now. Yeah, see, some people were just way more addicted at that time. I had been following you on TikTok for a while. Then I joined the stream for the first time the day the hardcore line. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I think I put a TikTok leading up to it, and then I put out a TikTok on the day of. There was more or less just kind of describing, like what my plan was. Which I didn't know what I'd do with this. I didn't even know if we would do lore in this world per se. Like, I was like, yeah, there might be a story, there might not be. I don't know. Like I was just kind of like, hey, who knows? And it just inevitably felt natural to do that. But you didn't start it immediately. I hopped on for the lore. The lore TikToks must, I stopped going on TikTok and go on Instagram Reels now. Intriguing. See, I'm still, like, I don't post as much to TikTok at this point. Mainly because I just felt like, I fell off of it for a little bit just because life got busy and stuff like that. And then, I don't know, TikTok didn't seem to, I don't want to say, no, I won't, because I just genuinely think I just got off the quote-unquote grind of TikTok, and because of that, TikTok was like, hey, we're gonna stop pushing you to your people. And it just became like a frustrating thing, because it's like, TikTok, I have, I don't know, 80,000 followers. And they're like, yes. And I go, so why do you show a video to 200 people? And then the next video to 30,000 people? And then the next video to 1,000 people. Like why? What's the discrepancy here? Like what? Like that's not like even just in terms of followers, you're showing it to like 1/80th of them, and they're like, yep. Why? Because that's the thing. I don't know. Most people, whenever it comes back to me, whenever they find me again, kind of thing, are like, oh man, dude, I haven't seen you in forever. And I'm like, yep, still here, still doing it. But that's the thing. I just don't put a lot of value in it. In like, I like making TikToks for like the creativity of it, I guess. Like recently, I did the last TikTok I posted, I think, was just like about the 1.20 update, and I just wanted to write it. I wanted to see if I could mention everything in the 1.20 update within under a minute and rhyme it all, and so I did. I wrote a little Dr. Seuss-esque rhyme because I was like, I don't know, it just seemed fun. It seemed like a fun thing to do, and I whacked that out in an afternoon or whatever, and I was like, yay! It just seemed, I don't know, I was just like, that'd be fun, and it was. What would happen if you called Taylor up? TikTok meme, but it's my mom telling me to tell you that I'm going to a city over the summer. It doesn't really matter for some reason. I mean, I don't know why you think I would live in a city. I live personally. I live in the countryside. I live in rural Bermuda, the island of. I don't know why. I thought that was very clear to people. Yeah, I thought everybody knew. I assuredly live in Bermuda. I've been very open about this. Occasionally, I live in Jamaica, but you know, otherwise, it's always been Bermuda. Yeah, both of those exist in Bermuda. I don't know what you're talking about. Also, I've never explicitly said either of those things. You know, you've weirdly inferred. You've read into things. You know, it's fine. Everybody does it. Everybody does it from time to time. Yeah. Oh, I also, you know what I dislike? I dislike the discourse around there's a lot of discourse around Minecraft in general as being like a quote-unquote dying game or whatever. I mean, it just goes through ebbs and flows. But also, I don't know, man. Is it the whole point that it's just like a fun little sandbox to play around in? I don't think I've ever seen Minecraft videos not on the trending page of YouTube. Like, you know, like at least one. So I'm like, I'm gonna go on a limb and say they all still get millions of views. And sure, like oh, and like nothing online, which I guess Minecraft was the height of at its height in 2020 to 2022. And nothing really online is at that same height anymore. But that's just because the pandemic is not, well, I mean, it's still very real and ongoing for a number of people, but it's not like, you know, it's not impacting people's lives in the way of like everybody's home constantly. You know what I mean? You were like a book without a cover. You were so obvious. I don't know what you mean. I think you know, it maybe I'm just maybe I'm dropping false flags. Maybe I drop false flags all the time, and I do live in Bermuda. Maybe I'm doing the ultimate gaslight. I told you, Chatters. I told you I'd gaslight you. You've fallen for my classic trap, the Kobayashi Maru. You will get obliterated. Psychology user or someone with a bit. How dare you? A big mouth? You think I'm the hit Netflix series? I am so good at keeping things under the hat. What do you mean? I'm dubious. Everyone looks over and they go, gee whiz, that there Napoleon, he's a difficult one to read. He's certainly a master manipulator. And I go, yes, it is true. I am a master manipulator. All of it is true. It always was. You fools. I've always been. Always has been. It is a hit, unfortunately. I mean, hey, I know there's some people online who really don't like it, but I don't know. For me, I don't really care. It's whatever. It seems fun enough, I guess. Like, I get that there's other shows that people are like, that's better, and Netflix should have kept those shows going. But like, and maybe that's true for some instances, I suppose. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't begrudge it. I think based on some things I've heard and read, honestly, it sounds like it's done some good in the world for some people who like otherwise don't learn certain things about themselves. And so it's like, oh, that does have some good to it then, like some net benefits. Even if it's not like a perfect thing to have be how you're learning, you know what I mean? But well, c'est vie, as they say. C'est vie. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry, chatters. I've gotten in such a weirdly like chill mood all of a sudden. I just got like into like this real like you know when you fall into like a bit of a vibe for like a chill mood, we just kind of start being like, yeah. Building tends to do that for me, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's just like a repetitive placing block type thing, but it's fun to just chat in situations like that. C'est la vie, not c'est vie. Never heard of that. Well, you're right in the sense that the saying would be c'est la, like the saying that a lot of English speakers say is c'est la vie, but that makes no sense because like say like c'est la vie would be this the life versus c'est vie, this is life. C'est vie is this is life, whereas so say mais c'est vie. So like to say c'est la vie would make 0 sense in French, but I'm aware that that is the more classic like referred to thing. But in fact it would not be that if you're actually speaking French. It would just be c'est vie. C'est vie. Holy crud! I looked down for like a minute and looked back up and see this. Hey, I slapped it all together instantly. I was like, bah, 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 bah. You looked away for a second, and I went achoo. And then suddenly, bada bing, bada boom, there is an entire, entire hunk of a castle built. Isn't that, you didn't even realize. You didn't even see it coming. No, I didn't mean to break those. No, come back. My calcite, no. If I get it wrong, say la vie. Oh my god. Caleb's gonna come in here and he's gonna absolutely rigmarole you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe it's meant to be said wrong. I don't know. But I've heard both, I guess is what I should say. I've heard c'est la vie, and I've also heard and c'est vie, and I've said and heard both. So I'm just kind of like, sure, man, whatever works for you. Milk. Why I just got milk in that? Just why did I leave milk in that? I must have just been trying to make inventory space at some point or another. But why is there just random milk? It makes 0 sense. And no. Where's the little cotton boy? Where is it? Oh, it's outside. Oh man, I'm very excited, by the way, to see Into the Spider-Verse. Not that I want spoilers, but for anybody who has seen it, I've heard fantastic things. I'm sure it is great. I've already heard from some people that I like trust the opinion of, for the most part, kind of thing, be like, yeah, I mean, you know, they've probably already secured a second Oscar. And I was like, oh my god, really? Like that good? And they're like, yeah, it's really good. And I was like, oh my god. So I'm very excited to get a chance to go see this. I mean, like, I don't know if I will be able to this week, but I'd love to. Just because, like, in general, like, the first one was so good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can fully understand that the first one, I'm impressed that they made the second one, I guess. Not because the first one wasn't good. It was very good, but... What? I was up here! Why would you feel the need to explode? You jerkwad! Why, man? Why you gotta do that to me? Why? Why would that be the answer? Oh my god, I need to destroy one of those two. But I'm surprised just because like the first one was not like a terribly great financial success, all things considered, for Sony. Like it was, I think it maybe broke even in the end, but like, because it had a great cult showing, particularly with Netflix. Netflix got a lot of bang for its buck out of that with how often it was in the trending tab on there and stuff like that. Which is what they cite for being why they ended up greenlighting the sequel. Because in theaters, despite, like, I loved it. I saw it in theaters. I loved it. I thought it was great. It didn't perform amazing. It performed all right, but not even really on par with other animated movies at its time. So it was kind of like a question of whether or not they would or wouldn't actually make a sequel. But I'm so thrilled they did, man. See it Friday. I can't wait. The first one was definitely amazing. It was spectacular, even. Get it? Cause Spider-Man. God, I'm funny. No one has ever been so funny. Yeah, we'll just try to bring this down as well. Everyone's a critic. Everyone's a critic. Everyone wants to get their say in. Everyone wants to say just every single little detail they want to get in on how the place should be built. That guy wants a new hole in it. Amazing also works in place of spectacular. Well, I know, but they said amazing. That's why I said, like I said, it was definitely amazing. And I said, yeah, it was spectacular. I was gonna then go, oh, it's the ultimate experience. But, you know, that felt like a stretch. That felt like a stretch. I would have been reaching for that one. My God. I need more dirt. I need more dirt. No. Hello, Mr. Skeleton. Please don't. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. There is dirt. Yay. I need. I associate amazing more with than Spectacular Spider-Man. I mean, both are different titles for him. Like the Amazing Spider-Man's his first title, but you know, there's the show of, you know, like Spectacular Spider-Man. But the Spectacular Spider-Man's a comic series. Oh, Spider-Man Ultimate's a version. There's another one. It's I mean, Friendly Neighborhood is one, but that's just kind of a comic title. It wasn't Super. It was, I don't know, something like that. It really is a Tobey Maguire experience. It really was such a Sam Raimi movie. The movie certainly was Friendly Neighborhood. Yes, exactly. Man, that movie was so Friendly Neighborhood. What a statement. What a way to phrase it. Oh, did you like the movie? Oh, it was so Friendly Neighborhood, man. Huh? What? I'm just saying it was a Friendly Neighborhood movie. What does that mean? You're bleeding. What does that mean? Why? Are you okay? You just start floating off of the ground. Oh! Mother, please. I have any coal here? I have some. I have a little. I got two hunks of coal, looking for three. Looking for three. Two hunks, looking for a third. Just another piece of coal, please. Just a little bit more. No, nothing. Nothing, really nothing. Not a thing. Okay, well, you know, that's fine. That's fine. That's great, actually. I'm really happy with that. I'm really, you know, I'm jiving. I'm doing fine. Can't you tell? Can't you tell? I'm doing great. It's fine. It's fine. Nap choker moment. Oh my god. I gotta go. Bye, Ash. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, dude. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope it is big pog. Bye. Alright. I need more dirt, I guess. No, not dirt. I need coal. And then life will be good. Once I have coal, nothing can go wrong. Immediate smash cut to things going absolutely horribly. Just the worst they could possibly be. Just the absolute worst case scenario occurring. I could just go mine the coal. Like, I know where there is a patch. I'll just do that. It's whatever. It's whatever, I guess. It's fine. That's my favorite Ninjago character? Who? I actually don't know much about Ninjago. I know Oliver likes Ninjago a lot. And I know members of chat do, but I don't actually know much about Lego Ninjago, if I'm being honest with you. It's me. I like Ninjago. Well, good. I swear. Yeah, I mean, like, is it like a good series, or it's just like a fun show to watch? I mean, either's fine. I'm curious now. If it's like people like it because of the series, or if it's like something you just get into because it's like a compelling storyline, or. Cole's good. I think he ties with Zayn on my favorite. Zayn, like from the band One Direction. Oh my god. You know, he left. Crazy that. Bonkers even. Tore my heart out. In that moment, I sobbed. Sobbed for hours. I was inconsolable. You know? Wouldn't even touch my chicken nuggets that evening. I went, no. I am in mourning. And I mourned. Candle vigils. All night, every night for like 2 months. It was a lot. But it was right. It was the right thing to do. It was well deserved. The world had changed. And I needed to mark that moment, you know? I needed to I needed to make sure that this was taken notice. I couldn't just let it pass me by. Such a monumental occasion. Like, I mean, really, it only comes once every so often, and you can't just ignore something like that. You can't just let it pass you by. It really, you need to grieve, really, with it, or you'll never grow as a person. You need to find your ways to grieve. You need to, you need to be able to take it in. Sit with it a while. Even if that means you gotta seclude yourself sometimes, and then just cry, you know? You just let the tears flow. And soon, in time, things get better, you know? Oh my god. Nap isn't joking, all this did happen. Exactly, well, yeah, of course I'm not joking. That's absolutely what happened. What do you mean? What is there to be joking about in this instance? Well, I'm talking about something very serious that happened. You're making it sound like this was just another day. Like the world didn't come to a standstill. Chatters, This was a monumental occasion. Show some respect. Maybe I'll add. No, I was gonna say maybe we should add some like aqueducts or something like that. That might be like an interesting little thing to do, but nah. I don't think the capital needs aqueducts per se. I mean, I'll probably eventually want to do like some sort of like waterway system, but like I don't think aqueducts are probably the play. I mean, aqueducts are really cool, don't get me wrong. God, do I love me some Roman architecture. I just don't think it's exactly the play for what we're looking to do right now. I was ignoring me? That's not allowed. Chatters, you can't ignore me. I'm the main attraction. I'm the raison d'etre. I'm so poggers and cool. Can't ignore me. It's illegal. It's a crime. You can't. Before they change then? Oh my god. Can't believe Simon. His name's Simon. No one will ever change that. You know what? I've decided I'm gonna get a guest star for the hardcore world at some point. Yeah, you know what? For the 2-year anniversary, we're gonna get a guest star. Who's the dream ask? Who's the wish list ask? So far, I'm thinking Yo-Yo Ma. It just feels right. It just feels right. You know, he was on Arthur, so it feels right that he would join us on the 2-year anniversary of the hardcore world. You know, it just feels like the right time. The right time to introduce Yo-Yo Ma as a character. Maybe we'll get a villager, and he'll be played by him. He'll voice act him. I'll add voice acting into the hardcore world, but it's just and never again afterwards either. So really, it's only classical cellist Yo-Yo Ma who's gonna get his own Wikipedia entry into being the one and only time voice acting was done for a villager, and it's gonna be just like very little dialogue. I'm gonna get him to do a cameo where it's just him literally going, and I'm Yo-Yo Ma, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the whole thing. I think that's gonna absolutely that's gonna. What are you talking about? What do you mean? You should get Jeb? Oh yeah, I'll call up Jeb and Agnes too. Jeb and Agnes, they'll be part of like a dream sequence where Nap wakes up. They can be there, but it'll be tiny Jeb and tiny Agnes. None of this full-grown size thing. You know what? No, I take it back. I'll DM because he'll see it. It doesn't mean he won't unfollow me afterwards, but he'll see it if I DM King B. He'll see it, and then I'll be like, yeah, you should do this, please, I am begging you, please, man. Oh, because I know it'll show up in his feed. I know he would see it is the thing, because even if it means he unfollows me after, and that means he did see it. That means he did get this DM and went, who is this? Who have I been following? What is going on here? What is all this then? Whap. You know what? there was a time where I considered it for a video. That's sitting. I should really just reshoot the whole thing because it's a video that like I started a year ago that I just ended up. It didn't peter out per se. I just what part of it was actually waiting for Legends to come out? But anyway. There was like this really big deep dive video that I wanted to do involving Minecraft, its creators, and all these other things, and I was gonna put that out, and then I ended up just like it's half done. But like now I look at it and I'm like, I'm so bad about that. I have so many videos that just sit on an external hard drive of like they're like partially done, partially edited, and just will never see the light of day. There's playthroughs, not like step by step, but like edited down playthrough like of games that I just thought were funny. Because I think that's kind of where I would go. Like I think I want to find the balance at some point when I have time. Between playthroughs that are more like, you know, part 1, part 2, part 3, but then also just like the really high energy, edited down, intended to be funny type things. Yo, Australium Anubis. That is a sick name. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Unless I butchered it, in which case it's still a cool name and I apologize. But oh my god. The optimal cameo. Dragon Cord, do you think he's not? I mean, hey, he's the most obtainable. Yo Ma doesn't follow me on Twitter, but King B-Dogs does. For whatever reason, which is the only reason I still have Twitter. I was going to delete it. I was like, I will never get this back. I was like, I will never recover this. This will never happen again. So I decided against deleting my Twitter for that reason. And literally that reason alone. Go flounder your chance by bothering him. What do you mean bothering him? I'll hit him up. I'll talk to him about Yo-Yo Ma. He'll totally understand. He would be like, I get it. I see your vision. Napoleon, I understand your vision here. Oh my god. I've been procrastinating building a Minecraft base for 4 months. The chest monster spreads by miles. Chest monster? Where have I heard that before? Is that a Good Time with Scars reference? Is that, or is that just a phrase that other people use and I've only heard it from Scar? Anyway, I mean, hey, if it helps, this is a 2-year hardcore world with like 1,000,001 half done, 3/4 done, 99% done projects, all of which are just slowly being picked away at. Optimal guest Soup. I'm sorry, Tiger. Soup left. There's nothing to be done. He's off on a journey, you know? Maybe he won't come back. Tiger's literally out here like the regular show. I keep waiting for Margaret to come back, man. What, still? Yeah, where's my edit of that? Come on, chatters. Where's the TikTok edits? Where's the sad hour TikTok edits of the lore? Where's the edited to what's the song? I need to purge my urges. Shame. Where's the edits? Come on. Oh my god. I thought the tree was done. No, it is. I looked at the wrong thing. The tree is done. I swear the tree's done. Totally. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. The tree's done. I promise. The tree's done, guys. It's completed. I complete lots of builds. Don't worry about it. I was just trying to make Anubis feel better. That's all. I mean, I totally finished projects. You guys totally haven't been waiting for me to finish certain projects for like eons. No, not at all. Oh man. The worst thing is it's in a mod pack in which there are ME systems. And I can fully afford one, but I'm too lazy to make one. ME, is that like an auto organizer? Wait, what does ME stand for? Where's my soup? I don't know, Tiger. Where's my sad edit? I got. Yeah, you can have soup back the moment I see an. Yeah, I'm holding soup hostage. I'm holding soup hostage until there's a sad edit about it. Can you imagine? I go, all right, you can have him back. Can you That's what I hold back up until, right up until, just with, oh man, somebody's like, I'm downloading CapCut right now. Just you wait, Napoli. Oh my god. Bro, is that massive tree not done? No, it's done. It's done. There's nothing more to be done with it. All right, it's fine. It's done. Please. The massive storage system in a few blocks. Oh, so it's like is it like a mod that lets you automate that? Sick. Nap, if I draw sad fan art, will you give me soup? I will give you soup content. Yes. Yes, I can promise that. That I can promise you the return of soup content. Smile. Can't promise you'll like it. Nap, sweet those chat every doing hard labor. So true, King, so true. There's like billions of items? I'm sorry, what? Oh, is this like, what's the one? I think they use it on the QSMP and stuff like that, and like SMP Earth used it. Is it that one, like Buildcraft? Is that the mod? I could be wrong, but that's the mod, right? The like really wild, like absolutely bonkers one. In terms of capability. Oh, I need that quartz, please. My quartz! Give quartz now, give. All right, and then move that there. Move in through this. Perfect. Are you thinking of create? Oh, is that the create mod? The one that has like the gears that like you attach by pipes and they like spin and stuff like that. Like it's not like it almost looks like a Tekkit mod, but I don't think it is technically. Like I don't think it is Tekkit, but it looks a heck of a lot like Tekkit. My mod pack uses refined storage. Refined storage is so much easier. You are all speaking Greek to me. I'll be real. I have no sweet clue what is being spoken about. I'm so like attached to vanilla Minecraft. I just don't understand other versions. Like I'm just like, yeah, ME storage system Watusi. Because it reminds me of what's his name? One of the Iskal, is that his name? It's Iskal, right? He's like one of the hermits. He runs a server, I believe, like an SMP that is mostly using stuff like that, right? Like mostly using don't I have any calcite left? Do I have to go mine it back up? I mean, we know where to go for it, but still, I thought there was some more. All right, then I'll drop this into that chest and then go get that calcite. Easy enough. Refined store. Do you mind? I'm trying to read chat. Refined storage, applied energetic to include nearly identical storage system and can store store billions of items in a few blocks, but AE2 is a trillion times more difficult. I see, said the blind man to his deaf daughter from the intercom that wasn't really there. Which means I don't actually understand at all, but I see! No, not that way, it's a little further in. There's also submods which add discs which up to 1,048 million blocks. What? Two identical storage systems, one's more tedious to make. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, I guess. See, I don't know. There's lots of like. That sounds at least more like a quality of life Minecraft mod, I guess. But I don't know. I like having chest monsters. I like having it all kind of expand out around and be wholly unreasonable to try to wield and get around with. It's kind of it's I don't know. I don't dislike it at all. I think it's got its own kind of character to it that way, if that makes sense. It's so funny to me also. So some of you that will remain nameless are aware of certain songs that like, so like in terms of like a writing process kind of thing, because there is, funny enough, there is a writing process to this hardcore. Like for instance, that soup scene, that sequence that occurred. Like I knew what he was saying in response. You guys don't, which is part of the unreliable narrator. You guys don't know what he's saying, but I do. And so it's hard to tell, I guess, for you guys at times whether or not I'm reacting rationally or not. But you know, yeah, who knows? But what's fun with that is that I do is that I do then get to explore more on the level of like what I want a scene to feel like, kind of thing. And I'm very much ascribed to the like James Gunn style of like, oh, I find a soundtrack before I find, not that it plays for you guys because I mean copyright, but like I find a soundtrack for a scene before I actually can write a scene, kind of thing, if that makes sense. But don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that like what I write is I don't know, some sort of complicated storyline or anything. It makes sense to me, and that's really what it needs to. It's not like it's a screenplay or anything. It's mostly just like some staging notes and stuff like that. But understanding what I need to have happen in a sequence or whatever, or how I want like a sequence to kind of end and all these other things, or the vibes that I want it to convey. I find it to be very interesting to kind of develop that off of like a playlist, because that's just fun. Which is also, you know, why Spotify is my beloved. The amount of playlists I have for different characters, individual things, and that, my God. The pre-recorded scene was planned. Unbelievable. Unreliable narrator. One of my favorite media trips I have read is no worries. When I find songs, sometimes I drop. That's so true. I drop everything and start writing because the song's perfect. Exactly. I think it's really helpful to kind of, because for me, I can see or understand a sequence in my mind, even if I don't have the exact dialogue out or like the exact kind of like blocking or what I want to have. Get it? Huh? Blocking? Cause it's Minecraft. Oh, God, I'm funny. It's the good lord. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. But no, there's something to it where you can really work out. Like, and sometimes it goes from like obscure things, like just absolute obscure regions is where I pull from first for the music. I think one song was like by like a Swedish artist that is very this is for one of my D&D characters, though, not for Minecraft. He's like a Swedish artist that I like was developing his backstory around like this random like pop song from I think like Sweden that like is bonkers, and I don't even necessarily understand fully, but like I love it. Started normally and slowly phased out normal songs in favor of Mongolian throat singing. Let's go. Hey, man, Mongolian throat singing, it is sick. That stuff's awesome. Oh man, I love stuff like that though. Like especially when you can find like specific vibes via music that like give you a distinct like flavor to something you're trying to do. And other cultures sometimes have that a little better, and I think some of that's even to do with like when you think about language, like there's some German music that I think conveys a lot better emotional lyricism to it than English can, or any other language really. I mean, I don't know, not to sound pretentious or anything, I just mean like you could, like Mozart or whatever was also more of a fan of opera in German because he felt that German as a language was far more capable of ascribing love and emotion to a sequence of music than any other language could, just because of the sheer specificity of that language, if that makes sense. Share the soup playlist? No! No, I refuse! I've been here the whole time, I've just been cooking dinner, playing video games with you kinda low in the background. Kinda low? I deserve to be on the big speaker! Oh my god. Good to one build character. I feel like Nap would never. Release the Dave playlist? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have both, but no. You know what? Yeah, if I die in the hardcore world, maybe. But even then, I'd have to release the playlist. I'd have to make my Spotify public. And that just can't happen. That's just illegal. No one can know what I'm listening to. God, you'd know I'm a nerd. If that happened, you'd see how you'd think I'm uncool. Which is totally not the case now. You all look at me and you're like, oh my god, he's so cool. Just inherently, he oozes coolness. You look at me and I punch a jukebox and it plays the song instantly, you know? Which is absolutely still a modern rendition of what is cool. And totally not a reference to a TV show from like, what, the 1960s? Oh my god. I've never done character building like that. I'm not good at world builder. I disagree, because during this stream where we did world building together, MJ, I think you had a lot of really interesting points and a lot of really interesting thread lines to actually follow up on, and I think it developed our chat's world that you guys got to do very well. I thought you were excellent at world building. I don't know why you sell yourself so short on it. I think you do quite well, and you got a creative mind for it. Doesn't mean it's easy. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that makes it easy or has to be easy. Sometimes, like, things like that can still be difficult for people. But don't sell yourself short, dude. Got a lot of creativity up in your noodle. Bow, bow, bow. Got some French to Japanese. Yeah, I mean, oh man, I got some German punk that's great. Yeah, I mean, I also love, I mean, one of the easiest examples of like a French song that's great, that I'm so happy it got mainstream kind of thing, was like Tout le Même by, oh no, I'm blanking on his name, no, or sorry, their name, I think they go, Stroma, it's, anyway, yeah, Stroma is the artist. They're great. The music video for that's also really interesting, and it's great commentary on France, like nationally, and globally as well. But you know, really good. But only use a dumb movie based off a famous game. What's that? Warcraft, but it's actually fire. I mean, hey, in fairness, I think Warcraft is not a terrible movie. Personally, is it a CGI fest? Yes. Was it poorly designed in the sense of like it failed at what the Dungeons and Dragons movie succeeded in, which is it tried to be too Warcraft, I think. Like, I think it tried to be too true to its source material without providing any background, and there was nothing to ground anybody in it. Like, for instance, the D&D movie, even though they set it in their own setting, and there was definitely allusions to things that are very clearly like you would know because you know D&D. Otherwise, you're like, what is that? They still did a great job of like grounding that in a world that's like understandable and approachable for somebody who's never played those kind of things, played D&D, or never heard of that the Faerun setting kind of thing. You know what I mean? I just take things from me and put it into each of the characters in the story I'm writing. I don't know if I should have elaborated it too soon. I mean, this is the thing, is like that's a totally legitimate way of writing as well. There's tons of different ways to write. It's more or less whatever works for you, I think. I mean, writing's so interesting to me in general. I mean, one of my greatest like I don't know, joys is getting to develop certain D&D characters like Ashton that you guys know a lot of the backstory of, because it's been very interesting to get to explore themes that like I don't necessarily have in my own personal life, but are themes that I think are interesting to explore within a character like that. Also, boy howdy, I could slap it and just, this bad boy can fit so much sadness. That poor Ashton, what a tragic man. I just don't, okay, but just don't make movies based on games generally. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think it's like a bad thing to make games based, or movies based on games. I just think you gotta respect the source material, really. Anytime anything's been made that respected its own source material and didn't just try to didn't try to change but also didn't try to rehash, tends to work out. But I can also understand the sentiment, because it doesn't work out so often, namely because of producer meddling, i.e., like for instance the Halo TV series. I think yeah, it's totally legitimate to not think or to find that it's like, you know, a bit unnecessary to start to I didn't even grab any more diorite, I'm an idiot. I can totally understand why there would be apprehension around it, but I don't know, it seems pretty fun. Like it seems like it can be really good, if that makes sense, in the right context, in the right scenario. Okay, Nap, Edward can fix him. I don't know about that one, Chief. There is a whole lot of sad baggage there. But I mean, I guess good for him though. He's starting to find his more heroic traits once again in life, and no longer believing himself to be, you know, unworthy of love. But you know, that was certainly something, a trait that he developed over the last several years of his life. He thought he couldn't do magic anymore because that wasn't his thing. That was something that only Elio could do, and he was too, for lack of a better word, dirty to still be able to do something as pure as a magic. But now he can! And he's learning that he can still be worthy of things. And he's not broken because, like, a person abandoned him. And he didn't deserve to be abandoned. You know? I think it's a great theme. I think it's a great little story hook theme to explore, because I knew from the start I wanted to multi-class him. So the first 7 levels were all rogue, swashbuckler, and so from that forward there was sorcerer, where he's getting back his he's getting back his magic. And it really is a sequence of him kind of coming back to the idea of like, oh wait, I can do that still? I kind of thought I never would again. I kind of thought, like, because the thing about sorceress magic versus like wizard magic is it's meant to be inherent to you. And so it's like this whole thing of like, when the betrayal happened and when he was left for dead, and maybe did die, maybe didn't. He actually doesn't know. I don't know. My DM knows if he did or didn't actually die in that moment. And if a bunch of other stuff happened. But anyway, in that, and then waking up with just this big wound and these Lichtenberg figure scars across his chest and everything like that. And what was told to him in words from Elio right after running him through with a spear. You know, it's this whole thing of like, oh, I'm the problem. Yep, I accept. He was right. I was stupid. I was childish and stupid. Obviously, I was wrong, and I deserved this, actually. I had this coming. And I'm not worthy of something as pure as magic, because magic's something that good people, good, smart, great, awesome people like Elio got to do. Elio was great at magic. So how could Ashton do it? He woke up with top surgery scars. In effect, kind of. In a sense, yeah. Like he woke up with a very scarred body and stuff like that. He has like a lot of body. like, yeah, for lack of a better word, body dysmorphia is a real thing for that man. So it's a whole, it's a whole, yeah, it's a whole thing. And I love the idea, like first, I did, after leveling him up into a sorcerer, I didn't use the level 1 sorcerer magic that I got for 4 sessions. For 4 sessions! We were in fights where it would have been useful. And I didn't use it. Because he was having, like, he was weird, because he took a potion of haste in the session right before he leveled up, which then let him feel magical again for the first time in a long time, because it gave it, like, I expressly never let him get blessed or get magic cast on him and stuff like that. I was always like, nope, put it on this other person, nope, because astronomically, that was wasted upon him. And also, he was kind of just looking to bite it. He was kind of hoping he would. Less so now, bit happier now, has friends again. And is in more of a place where he's like, well, maybe, you know, that's not true. And see, that's the thing. Sorcerer magic in D&D is tied to the charisma stat. Like, charisma is your spellcasting modifier. So I was like, I think it's a real mental block is what's keeping him from, for those first seven levels, from accessing his magic pool and accessing those things. And so yeah, I got to go have like this, and he's the only would-be sorcerer in the group, because there's a bard, there's a ranger, there's a warlock, there's a wizard, there's another rogue that does psionic stuff, and there's a cleric and stuff like that. And so then I got to have this cool session of going around. Had no risk. Oh no, he has a very high charisma. He has a 20 charisma. He's very charismatic, but that one thing of doing magic is a mental block for him. Namely because he just puts on a performance with his quote-unquote charisma of talking to people to never have to actually be himself to anybody. But that's like a whole theme with his character. But no, Ashton himself is a very high charisma character. He's the face of the party for the most part. But anyway, it gets into like a lot of complicated things like that, and I just thought that was like an interesting way to, because I like trying to justify how leveling up works. Like, how are you just suddenly able to do magic? And I was like, oh yeah, he hated himself. He thought he wasn't like that was too pure of a kind of thing for him to still do, and he was dirty or broken and could no longer do it because of events of his past. Of course wasn't true, but he didn't know that. And so yeah, themes like that are interesting to explore for Ashton. Oh, and then also it's like yeah, I got to have some cool sessions where I got to talk to all the other players about you know, what does your magic feel like, which is such a fun roleplay question in my mind. That's such a fun question. Where, like, oh, what does your magic feel like? That's not in any D&D book. That's not written anywhere. That's not written in a D&D book of like, oh, like bardic magic feels like this, or is this color, or performing it and learning it feels like this, and you do this to do so. Outside of maybe like ascribing like, oh yeah, wizards read to learn magic, it's really not described anywhere. And so I love putting that on players to figure out, like, for their individual, like what does your magic feel like to you? And like, it's very weird, like, because for the warlock, it's a connection to hags, and it's hag magic, and that feels very different to him than the cleric's magic, which doesn't come from a god, but it comes from a giant crystal in space. It's a long story. It's oh my god. Yo, what you eat? What you have for din? Nice. When do I get my magical ability? Oh my god. I think you're magic enough already. I love learning how people experience stuff IRL. That's such a good question for world building. I know, right? I think it lets, like, because most players, I mean, never have a reason to think on that. And it's really cool because then you get to like have these real like interesting conversations where you could see it happening in front of you, like them thinking like, yeah, what would that feel like? What do I think? Academic like, and that's the thing is the guy who plays a wizard described it very academically, very like, well, you know, it's a series of very specific hand movements and very specific, like it's very methodical, it's very well thought out, and you're finding the exact equation to equal the magic spell. Like, I'm finding effectively it's very Full Metal Alchemist almost. Like that idea of like everything, there's a cost to everything you're doing, and with components and stuff like that, and that cost is met in certain ways, and how you meet those costs and interchange the laws of the universe for that. And so that was their explanation for it. The bard finds the music of life. It's very much a thing for them of like, oh well, I suppose I just hear magic all around me. They hear the arcane in the air, which it's almost like a perfect pitch type thing is how they described it. But they're like, well, no, I'm more just tuning the magic ley lines of life as they already exist around us to the causes I need. I'm hoping to play them the right melody that they'll want to move melodically together into how I need them to, into the right song. And that song is really just channeling the right notes into a song instead of just a collection of angry, violent, chaotic notes that are all throughout the universe on their own. Which is such a sick, on-the-spot answer they get. I was like, oh my god, that is a sick way of thinking of how that works. The druid, a similar, relies on ley lines, but more of the natural ley lines and stuff like that. It's more of an interesting development of like, well, I kind of, everything has a spirit and a soul. It was very much more like the Force almost from Star Wars, is how they kind of described it. Less academic, very wild in how they described it, which is fitting for a druid. I'm good at writing villains, but I don't like doing it since I often end up using some of my past flaws into my writing. Since I used to be very flawed and a very bad person, and I always feel like I've been reflecting on what I hate about myself. Well, I mean, for lack of a better word, that's probably kind of healthy. Is it like you're reflecting on things and knowing to grow and move beyond them? I mean, that's kind of like the point of life, isn't it? The point of life is to learn and grow and always be changing. No one's ever really stagnant forever. Sure, there's some key aspects to people that maybe they hold on to, but the idea of like, never changing is a very human concept that's not very human in practice. Because humans change. We do it all the time. It's natural. So I would say it's it's probably healthy to do that. Now I'm going to use the question for every single one of my OC. I mean, you should. Yeah, I think questions of how your character, if it's in a fantasy universe, how do they explain, or if there isn't like an inherent explanation to things, how do they understand the universe around them? How do they understand the world and how it works? Be it technology within that world, or something like magic, or even something like the hierarchy of society. Do they approach it from a very realpolitik idea of like everybody's after power? Is that their view on the world? Everyone's always after power, will always do what it takes to make them get more power, and that's really the commodity of life. Or are they idealistic? Do they believe, well, no, people will do things after in pursuit of certain opinions they will have, and stand by those opinions, and there's fairness and right to the world kind of thing. Like, for instance, like, oh well, no one would ever do something like if you're making a game, like, and no one's and another company buys the rights to that game before it launches, and they come in, they're not gonna like throw out the script unless there was a problem with the script. Well, to an idealist, sure, but to but in realpolitik, you would say, oh no, they might, because they didn't make that script, and so they want the power in that scenario, and they want to be able to say, no, like, you're making what I'm telling you to make. You're not just making whatever you want. Like that's a very real thing that occurs in like company takeovers and stuff like that, and it's a very real thing that a lot of artists deal with all the time with companies that don't allow the artistic vision to occur, because for them that's not what it's about. It's not really about making the best game or making the best movie or the best whatever. It's more to them, in truth, about the idea that they did it. They were what made this happen. You know what I mean? I have friends IRL who experience life differently via mental stuff, and on the one hand, I don't ask every single second, but because I know that's exhausting for them, but also learning is cool. Yeah, understandably, dude. I mean, yeah, that's obviously it's a balancing act, but at the same time, like, yeah, you're human. Asking people how they experience the world is like probably the most human thing you can do. Look, I don't even mean that like philosophically. I just mean like genuinely. Like, yeah. We all nobody knows for certain if we all experience the world the same way. you know, the whole, is my red the same as your red, or were we both just taught that's red, and what you see as red is what I would call as green? Like, this color, I would say, is green, but maybe from your eye, if I saw it out of your eyes, it would be what I would call red, but in reality, you call it green because you were told it's green. You know what I mean? That's, like, not something I came up with, obviously. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that before. That's, like, a whole theory or whatever on, like, how people say, and it's almost impossible, I think, to ever know that for sure. I don't think we do for certain at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was a study, but I don't think we actually know or have a way of confirming that one way or the other. But interesting query. High fantasy is fun, but writing post high fantasy is so much more fun to me. See, for me, what's super fun for me is in fantasy stuff. My favorite kind of fantasy to write is actually set in a sort of antiquity, what we would call antiquity. I tend to either do the reverse or, you know, lean on the Bronze Age collapse kind of thing. But I tend to do the reverse of a lot of fantasy, where it's like, oh, there was once, like, in fantasy there always, where there are dungeons and relics, there always has to have been that more powerful ancient society that no longer exists for those relics to exist to go find. But something that I personally enjoy, to flip that somewhat on its head, is that I make it the reverse. I make it the medieval society is the ancient society, and you're now in the period of what would normally be seen as an antiquity kind of thing, with the Spartan type view, like an Athenian democracy kind of thing, and very like Hellenistic, or very New Kingdom Egypt kind of thing. Like, I love leaning into stuff like that. I think the ancient world is a very underutilized, like, high fantasy, like sky ships as like Greek triremes is such an interesting visual to me. Like, applying high fantasy visuals to, like, antiquity, I love that. That is magnifique. My favorite. That discovers colorblind people. Oh my god. No, colorblindness is not exactly what I was getting at, but I understand what you mean. Ranges of colors that they could see. Yeah, like the shrimp. That absolute rat. That rat, the shrimp. It's not really a shrimp, he's a rat. I want them color rods. Why does he get them? I want the color rods. Unfair. The shrimp thing isn't entirely true. I don't care. They've had it too good for too long. They're undeserving. I demand that all shrimp be outlawed. That the shrimp be given no quarter. No clemency granted. The shrimp must learn their place in the world. It has been too long. And let me undo that a little bit. But yeah, anyway, but back to what I said for D&D wise though. Yeah, I love the idea of getting to ask players, like, you know, what they think their magic feels like to cast, or like how they what is the actual in-world explanation for how their casting works, for them, kind of thing, or like what it looks like, because that's the thing, like you can flavor worlds two different ways, in my opinion. You could flavor it that like certain types of magics have certain looks, or you could flavor it instead to be that it's not that necromancy's a black colored magic, or that like it's green or whatever. It's that the caster has that color signature. Because I think color in magic's also very interesting. And while it's very common to have it be the case that, like, you know, a type of magic has a certain color to it, I think it's at times more interesting, depending on the world, to have it instead be that it's not the what you call it? It's not the type of magic that's causing that. It's the caster themselves who changes the color. even if it's not intentional. It's just like the color of their, I don't know, their magical soul, for lack of a better word, is what determines what it's gonna look like when it gets released. I have achieved peak ADHD. I'm simultaneously watching your stream, playing Minecraft, playing People Playground, and texting this guy who I think likes me. I hope he likes me. Yo, Big Pog. Also, good luck. I hope you get what you want from that then. The shrimp have more rods, but their brains are so teeny that they just can't do that many colors. That's what they want you to think. That's what Big Shrimp wants you to think. They got scared. They got scared people would start asking too many questions. And so they lied. They said, oh, no, but we can't use them. Don't worry. It's all a lie. I see through it, though. They can. They just don't want you to know they can. That's what it is. That's what it is. Don't let them tell you otherwise. That's what it is, man. I got it. All right, I'll just drop down for it. Why? Perfect. Like a glove. Well, I don't know why I just talked about Big Shrimp like it's a real thing. That's just what Big Shrimp wants you to think. My God. And you guys choose to be here, man. You guys sign up for this. Boy, howdy. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, I think the answer is yes, but I can't be sure. Do you play Paradox interactive games? Some, not nearly, not as many as I could. I'm more of, in terms of like Paradox type stuff, I play more of the Creative Assembly Total War games rather than the like Crusader Kings or Victoria 3 kind of thing. Like I don't know, I'm aware of them, and I'm kind of interested by them. I actually have Crusader Kings. I've just actually never played it. I have the third one. I just don't like how their army system works. I find it dull, I guess, comparatively to something like a Total War game. Assuming you're talking about those kind of specific types of their games. The colors of the caster sounds a lot like the Once Upon a Time show. What's the Once Upon a Time show? I think they might have used that technique, since now I see certain characters, the color of their magic. Ah! Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that I'm like the first person to say that, by the way. I just meant I think it's an interesting way to approach magic in a given world. Not that you were saying that. I was saying that. I just want to be clear. Dap invented fantasy. I know. I invented it all, actually. I invented life. Little known fact, name's Yahweh. Oh my God. Do you want these whitewashed walls to look like they've been there a while, or to look relatively recently whitewashed? If the former, I could provide some advice. I'm always open to any sort of building ideas and stuff like that. This world is kind of the first time that I've really gotten into building. So like a lot of the builds that go on that are like kind of slowly determined. I, in hindsight, made the stupid decision of, in a hardcore world, deciding to use quartz as one of my major building blocks, which is maybe not my best move, given it seems to be not the easiest block to come by. But you know, live and learn, I guess. You know, probably should have guessed that it would not be the absolute easiest, but you know, at the end of the day, say V, I guess. Say V. So what I'm kind of doing currently with the gradient that I'm kind of looking to do, my thought process has been, oh, well, it'll be diorite into calcite into quartz, because that at least gives me some ability to, like, Like I tried some white concrete, but yeah, that gives me some ability to have like a blended thing and not be entirely reliant on quartz. There's also too much quartz is really just like, I don't know, it's too soft. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, like I don't hate like a blend going from like then and it looks a bit more natural, I guess, maybe that way. Maybe look like the paint's coming off a bit. Ooh, that might work. That might work. Yeah, I do actually have a factory kind of thing that I'm building. This is the thing. Like I'm trying to use mostly brick in the factory region. And I kind of like the idea of the pure white tower, but I don't hate that idea because a lot of the detailing I'm planning on adding is going to be with blackstone and whatchamacallit, maybe some like dark oak. Maybe spruce as well, depending. But I don't hate the idea of brick. Like this kind of brick here, because I do have that kind of right in the middle of the courtyard as well. But yeah, because a lot of the palette, like the reason for a lot of this kind of palette as it is already mostly just to try to alleviate some of the absolute need of of how just the sheer volume of how much quartz I'm using in a given build, because boy howdy is it a lot. It's so much, man. It's so much. I'm like, oh, this is kind of excessive. Don't do that. Can you chill, man? Could you not? That would be great. That would be swell. I would actually be so pleased if you guys just didn't tonight. That would be... that'd be good for me, man. That'd be nice. Oh, it looks like it looks like they're not. Oh, thanks, guys. I just had to build myself into like a deep enough corner that it became too much of a pain for them to get at me. Now, what is the white stuff? What, calcite? What is the white stone block called? Not diorite? What, this? So this is diorite, this is calcite, and this is quartz. I'm confused. What do you mean, oh, why are you sad now? What? Calcite for months? No, this is calcite. I've said calcite constantly. Oh, yeah, the phantoms. Yeah, they're chill up there. They're chill. They'll leave me alone, I guess. They'll leave me alone in time. I'm actually gonna make a note. 1 second. I'm gonna make a quick note about that brick, just because I'm not to it yet, but I do think it might be interesting to actually make that. Brick walls, intermix, paint chip. Nice. Because yeah, I don't hate. I think it might be an interesting thing to explore with it. At the very least, we could always take a look. Oh shit! Is it Sam the cat keeping them away? He's hissing at him. It's Sam. Sam's why they're not attacking me. The cat. I forgot about that. They're scared of the little cat. Calorite. Why would I call it calorite? That's not what it's called. MJ, are you feeling all right? MJ, are you doing okay? I mean, really, the idea that I would call something what it's not actually called, really? Seems a mite bit unreasonable if you ask me. Yes, my sire. No, I genuinely have always been calling it calcite, but I can understand why you would think I would get it wrong. But no, I have slash gen. I have been calling it calcite. Yes. I don't know why you think I haven't. Clearly, someone doesn't pay attention. Who do you think you are? Whoever you think you are, I am. Yeah, that's right. No one can get past Sammy boy. He's a hissy little baby. Not Sam the streamer. He's don't no, he's great. I don't mean him. Clearly, I mean the cat. Sam. What? I have to go now. Bye, Dragoncorn. I enjoyed this stream. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad, dude. I had a lot of fun. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Adios. Bye, Dragoncorn. Hope you have a wonderful evening, dude, and a great rest of your week. Hope it is Big Pog. You know what? I'm gonna change this later, I think. But for now, Okay, never mind. There is no half slab of basalt, I guess. Lame. Not that it needs to be a half slab. I just kind of wanted to get the most mileage out of it. But for now, I'm gonna do this. It's absolutely gonna change in future. But for now. In some places rather than linear. Radial gradient. See, that's the thing. Stuff like that. Man's, it sounded like green. Like I don't know the first thing about building. I'll be real. Like everything in this world that I've built, if it ends up looking good, awesome. But really, it's just been like, I don't know, trial and error for the most part. Ooh, man got bonked by the ads. Yeah, they do go crazy. I will say, chatters, by the way, I know Anubis can't personally hear me currently, but like, when ads come on, there's no, like, you can just go, I don't know, get a glass of water, like, I don't know, that's what I do. Whenever like ads come on or whatever for a stream that I'm watching, that I'm like, ah, man, I just don't end up watching the. I go get like a glass of water or something, chill for a minute. On the create mod, I mean, simply do. We're supposed to watch the ads and be good consumers. Oh yes, of course, my mistake. You're so right, King. And I, as a representative of Twitch, agree with you, sir. You're so based. The ads are done. Let's go! Oh my god. Yeah, Twitch, I mean, it's wild, man. They'll play like 10 ads sometimes. It's insane. It's all out of my control at this point. I've set it to the best setting I can, which is effectively, it just kind of rolls ads, I believe, on a schedule now during the stream, instead of letting it like happen, like, cause I try to have it put as few ads as possible in front of you, just cause I don't know, I think ads can be annoying. This is also probably gonna, you know, this is not, I just need to tear the house down. You know, I do. We've been building around it for so long, and I know I just need to tear it down for this to work, but alas, I am attached. But I think I'll tear down the top floor. Cause it's not helping anyone. It's not helping anyone at this point. Not really. And so it was. No, but I want it. You know what? I'll leave it I'll leave it for the 2-year anniversary. It's been here for 2 years. I'll leave it for that. And then after that, I'm tearing down the whole thing. I'm tearing down the whole thing. Just the bottom. Well, the whole thing's coming down on the anniversary stream, so worry not, my friend. Worry not. It's all coming down. Maybe I'll dismantle it and rebuild it over here. Maybe this way we can keep it so visually it still exists somewheres. I just don't live in it anymore. Eh? What about that? Does that work? We could keep it for posterity's sake. Just disassemble and reassemble it like in this swamp. After it's fun. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just like T-Heat. No, I'm just throwing a hissy fit. I keyed. The pig is real, huh? Apparently there was a pig with my name? What? Oh, you mean like the pig in the hardcore, like Levi? Like the pig in the hardcore one? Yeah, chat named the matter. Like chat prevented my I needed food. And chat was like, no, that pig is Levi. They made a Wikipedia page like that before I could do anything, man. It was wild. I was like, okay. Yeah, that's Levi. I don't have a name tag for him yet, but there he is. I couldn't do anything because chat just instantly made a wiki page. They're like, no, you can't kill him, no! Yo, One Piece dude, what's up, man? How do? Is any of this? Oh, a good chunk of it's actually. All right, I'm gonna do some quick farming, and then most of that should have finished oxidizing. Also take that. And I'll go make sure that the rest of the copper's cooking as it needs to. Where's the hole? It should be here. I made one, and maybe I left it down in the other way. Oh my god, why is it always like this? Why is it always like this? Why can I never find what I need? Ow! A lot in a good way, or like, I mean, hopefully a good way. Hopefully that's like, oh man, a lot's going on. I just got a raise and just got hitched, and you know, what else is just a happy news? We bought a house and 401k and I don't know, what else do people want in life? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, and got with. Oh, I'm sorry. That is Pog. I read that as I broke up with my girlfriend and my best friend. I read that as like, oh, yeah, I lost like 2 things, and I was like, oh, that really sucks. But oh, if it's broke up and got with your best friend, then that's great. Do I have a hole in here? No, I don't. Well, then congrats. Hopefully it was amicable and not too bad of a breakup for you. And I hope you're both very happy then. Big Pog, Big Pog. Also, buy awareness. Big Pog, buy people. Yo, Edward, dude, what's up, man? Mr. Ashton talk again? Oh no, he did! Oh no, yeah, sorry, you missed us going into backstory elements of Ashton. He's and tragic elements of his character and why he mostly just needs a hug, probably. Oh, well then in that case, congratulations on moving on to a a much better future then. I wish you the utmost of happiness, and I'm sure you'll find it. That's great then. Like genuinely, like that's. Oh yeah, baby. Sorry, I found what I needed. But no, seriously, that's great. Congratulations. I could offer him a hug. It's okay. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could, Edward. Good lord, I could offer him a hug. And oh, none of these earlier ones have coal in them. Not enough coal. What else? Distribution wise needs to be done. You don't need that much. And perfect. So that's gonna keep going. Easy elo, easy life. Give. And moving right along. Fucking hot cocoa. Oh, that's okay, sweet. I don't need a hug. I am great. Yo! Case out of that. Yo! Big Pog, dude! Congratulations! Oh my god. That's awesome. Oh, let's go! The Napoleon the 7th chat stays winning. We're all made up of winners. Oh my god. Oh, dude, that's great. It sounds like you're having a blast. What a way to start your summer. Or I guess approach the summer. Technically, it doesn't start, I guess, till what, the 21st? Is that the solstice? Is it the 21st? Is the solstice 21st of June? I think so. I could be wrong, but I believe it's the solstice. Oh, I forgot to make more of the copper. I actually did not like my first. That's fine. It's good for some people, not for other people, and there's nothing wrong with either of those options. Also, yeah, we've done some more work on the castle. Is what you've been missing, Edward. We've done some more work there. We went some mining for a little bit. We got lost in a cave system for a little bit. It was Big Pog. My God, could you leave me alone for like 5 minutes? Jeez Louise, some people, man. Yeah. You're all angry and mean and grr. I get it. Grr, whatever. Stop it! Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Jerks. Hey. Oh, I missed. Devastating. This has never happened before in the history of Minecraft. I've never missed. I never miss. I miss twice. But I never miss. Smash cut to like the 1,000,003 times I've missed. But I got him that time, baby. Woo! Life is good. Life is bogue. Oh man, yo, we're playing, dude. What's up, man? Oh, also, yeah, the Phantoms have been a bit of a pain, to deal with. I'm sorry, I missed so many messages doing that. Did I see Coro? I did, dude. It's so cute. Oh my god, that thing's so sick, man. All I can think of is food, and I already ate. Food's delicious, understandable. Oh man. Just sensory issue. Yeah, dude, absolutely. No, I totally understand it. There's nothing wrong with anything like that, Path. Don't worry. Oh man, and no worries, we're playing. I totally understand. Man, life gets busy for lots of people all the time, dude. There's no worries about it. I've always said there's never any, nobody should ever feel any sort of like obligation or anything, or feel bad about like not being here ever. You guys are always welcome to be here. It's a revolving door of just, you know, like come hang out if you got the time and want to, and if not, no worries, man. I always just hope you, so long as you're looking after yourself, that's what's really important. I'm just playing silly little block. No, creeper. Oh man. You fools! You fell for my greatest trick. I missed. You fell for my greatest trick. I missed again. I hit him though in the end. Don't worry about it. No, I didn't really miss. There's not arrows on the ground. You didn't see it, so it never happened. Didn't see it, never happened. Didn't see it, never happened. Nap would get attacked IRL by the Phantoms. I feel it. No. No. Oh man. Not gonna lie, your voice kind of sounds like that one cop telling the guy he's not in trouble and that his family is worried about him. You know what I mean? Right? No, I'm sorry. You think I sound like a cop? Why? Oh my god. Man said I sound like a cop. Good lord. Ah! Stop that. It's rude. It's rude and uncalled for. Don't you scuttle into my home. Ah! I said it was rude and uncalled for. Okay, you know, this is getting a little unreasonable. This is getting a little unreasonable. Keep missing. I'm just so tired. I'll just light everywhere's up. That'll fix it. No, it's a clip of this really nice cop telling a guy who ran away from home, your family's worrying about you. You're not in any trouble. Oh, well, in that case, I mean, I guess thanks. Yeah. I'll take it as a compliment. It sounds like you beat it as one. So I'll take that as I'll take that as a compliment, I suppose. But a cop. I was worried. I was worried you were. I was worried you were gonna tell me like, oh man, dude, you sound like you're absolutely ready to crush people under the heel of a boot. And I was like, huh? I sound like what? Yeah, you sound like you're gonna turn on sirens and go arrest people for just, you know, enjoying their day. I was concerned. You can send it into the Discord. Links aren't able to appear in the chat, but you can certainly send it along to the Discord. There's a media channel. Media! If you got a link for it, kind of thing. The vibes, oh my god. Can you imagine? God. kill someone for some healthcare. Do you understand me? Do you have any idea? Oh my god. Did you just the sheer volume of undoing of financial issues that would cause? My god. I saw a clip the other day. There was like British people or whatever being told that like EpiPens or whatever, like $600. They're like, huh? And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like you just get reminded, and you're like, oh yeah, great. This is wonderful news. I thought you were Mr. Evil. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. You're right. I am Mr. Evil Ark. I'm gonna crush you all under my boot heel. Don't ever touch me like that again. Don't ever think that you can come and throw hands at me. He started it. He started it, not me. He started it. The worst news in Canada. I saw that clip too. It was so depressing. What? Oh, the UK one. I was like, what is this cop clip that I've not seen, and why is it depressing? Good lord. Go for the UK healthcare nap. I found out they have dental care. I'm screaming. I've been so I can't afford it. Bro, yeah, you know what? I guess that is. There are people who do that, right? It's like healthcare tourism or whatever. They'll like take planes to like the UK because they'll still serve you no matter what. You know what I mean? One Piece. What I think you might be thinking of is there's like people like what's his name who's on Shark Tank. The guy who said poor people should be happy to be poor. He's bald, and he killed a man with his boat, allegedly. And then put his wife in the driver's seat so that he wouldn't get the blame. Allegedly. Kevin O'Leary, that's his name. Yeah, he said poor people should be happy to be poor. That was his whole thing. Anyway, he's the kind of guy who I think promotes the idea, because his whole thing is, yo, ECM344, thank you so much for the follow, dude. What are you talking about? Oh, well, what I was gonna say is that, yeah, that guy, the Kevin O'Leary guy, he's like a really rich, I don't know if it's oil or what he's into, but he's a really rich guy from Canada who's like, he argues that they should go into like a hybrid system for them, or that like, oh, the American system of healthcare is so great because, you know, he can pay for it all out of pocket. He has like a, I don't know if it's on their like BBC thing or if it's on, he has a show or something. Anyway, we had to watch like clips of him for like 20 minutes straight in a class where, yeah, that was his whole argument. So I want, like, that might be what you're thinking about, stuff like that. We could have lost it thinking, everyone that's famous from Canada, leaves. I wonder why. Largely, probably, my guess is gonna be tax evasion. I mean, if your point's at like, oh yeah, like here in the United States of America, it's the greatest place you could possibly be on Earth if you're rich. Then yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like, don't get me wrong. If you are rich in America, that is the #1 place in the world to be. There is nowhere's better in the world you want to be if you are wealthy. Like, just genuinely, there isn't. There's no easier tax loopholes anywhere else. There's no incentivization for rich people to come here because then they can make it off with paying less taxes than teachers. Like healthcare is perfect if you're rich. Like everything is designed. It's a rich person's place. It really is. It's just, you know, most people aren't rich. So like that's the real problem. But no, like on paper, yeah. Like if you're wealthy, if you're, I don't even mean 1% wealthy. I mean like if you're a millionaire, yeah, no, America's easily the place you want to be. Whether or not that's a morally good thing for America to have happen is a totally separate issue. But yeah, no, you're One Piece. You're absolutely right. If what you're saying is like, oh yeah, why do rich and famous people all come to America? It's because, of course, like if you're rich and famous, your own best interest will be to move to America, because America is lobbied to the degree that, you know, it doesn't care about its average citizen anymore. Like it just doesn't. And to argue separately is to argue in Fantasyland. That's hyperbolic. I don't mean to say that. Like, you can make the argument. There's certainly, I mean, a great example, Wisconsin. You know what? I'm gonna be positive about this. Actually, Wisconsin legislature just passed a record-breaking number of bills over the last 4 months, all because, and they don't even have a super majority. They only have a 50 plus 1 majority in their state legislature. They ended non-competes. They protected trans kids. They protected LGBT. They provided free lunch for all students. Like food is now being given to all kids there. There's protections for unions. They've added a dental plan. Like, this recent session of Wisconsin's legislature single-handedly proves that the biggest villain in American politics is, and I don't really want to get into a thing, is centrists. It is. The people who are, we gotta work with both sides. No, because guess what? When a Republican takes over a legislature, they're putting through evil stuff, and they do, and that's just what they do. They get it done. Versus you'll have super majorities like in LA, or sorry, in California, where they're like, no, we gotta work with both sides, and then nothing actually gets done. Wisconsin just demonstrated, insanely so, how potent and like having a majority, even a small majority, can be. They pushed through 70 different pieces of legislation protecting unions, women's reproductive rights, making it impossible for other states to pull women who've had an abortion back to their states. They've removed that ability. They've protected trans kids. They protected kids just from hunger. They've worked on homelessness. They've billions put into education. It is genuinely a really positive thing. I encourage you to look into it. It will make you feel a lot better about the state of where things could go in American politics. It doesn't have to all be doom and gloom. That's all I'll say. That's because I don't want to leave this. I know we're in the last half hour or so of stream, and I don't want it to get depressing. I think it's good times. You know, it's good times. If we weather the storm, we can make it through. Exactly. There's good people trying to do good things, and even at a higher level. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Inflation Reduction Act is a fantastic bill from the White House. They've done lots of great things. Sure, I mean, we can get into like things like what more needs to be done and the rest, but there are people still fighting to have good things occur. That's kind of where I'm getting at. You know what I mean? I understand. It is a very, like, I will be frank, and I know many of you know this, and I don't want to get too much into it because I want this place to just be like a chill place. But and as you guys know more than I would, it's a very scary time for a lot of people in today's world and day and age, for a lot of different groups, particularly LGBTQ+. And there are people still making the fights to make that right. Wisconsin is a fantastic example of just that. They put forth genuinely strong protections and genuinely and not like, that's the thing. They codified a lot of these things as well in a way that you can't even let's say they lose to the Republicans next time. It can't be undone like that, because all three branches of their state level government up to the governor passed it and codified it to a degree that it would need a supermajority to be undone, and even then would still be court challengeable. It's very difficult to undo all that was just done. So like, it's genuine protections that will have genuinely great impact. And I think that's something to be hopeful for, and something to call you. Listen. I know a lot of you guys are obviously quite young, like you're not like maybe voting age yet, but as you approach it, or if you are, call your representatives, talk to them. Even if they are on the other side, calling them and letting it be known that like you don't agree with that politics does have an impact. And voting is also the strongest thing you can do. And for those who would disagree, I would say look at the last election that happened for Congress. People like, you can look at what's her name, Boebert or whatever. Like, yeah, she won by like 100 votes. That's like nothing. That is such a drop in the bucket. There's some writings that were won by 7 votes. There was one that was won, I'm pretty sure, by 1 vote. Like, it is so possible to still take this kind of thing back. But anyway, that's I'll end with that for the politic bit, because, you know, it's good to be helpful, but also I understand not everybody wants to really hear or talk about that right now. But yeah. Anyway, I hopefully you guys are excited for the upcoming week. You know, I hope this week is gonna be big vlog for a lot of you guys. I'm excited personally. I'm excited to go see Into the Spider-Verse. Hopefully I'll get that done. We'll probably be back with Zelda, I think, on the Friday. Just because, you know, I don't want to say addicted. I don't want to say addicted, but you know, it may be all I'm thinking of. And it may be that I almost played it today again, but I literally was like, oh wait, no, I said I'd play the Hardcore World. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I guess I should do that, huh? Oh my god. I just remember who my first time about it was Runoff, because it was so tight. If it's the Runoff I'm thinking of, the person I would imagine you wanted to win won. Common Map W. Well, thank you. Oh man. I will say though, yeah. So the last thing I'll say, just to nicely wrap that up, is yeah. If you are in doom and gloom mode about it, I highly recommend looking into the myriad of different things that just went through in the most recent legislature sitting of Wisconsin. I think it'll leave you a lot happier of like the idea of where things can go. But yeah. Also, Cheddars, I was gonna ask, what I was gonna say was, yeah. So I think this Friday is gonna be Zelda. New Zelda. I guess what I was gonna ask is, because I'm kind of enjoying taking my time with the game, but I also can understand some people might really want us to get going towards Tears of the Kingdom, because we're still on Breath of the Wild. So would you rather me like hyper focus in on making sure that I get through Breath of the Wild, or do you want me to like, you know, find little secrets and find little things and do a little collection? Like, I probably won't collect all 900 Korok seeds on stream. That might be a little bit much, but you know, like, yeah, beyond the Divine Beasts, like I probably will do some side quests and stuff like that. But if doing that kind of thing is not what you're looking for, then I'll just do stuff like that off stream. Take your time. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Also, once again, Edward, by the way, that Korok, dude, so sick. He's so cute. My god. Gonna see the Spider with my new gear. Woo! Hey, well, hopefully you like it. I'm really excited to get to see it. What's your favorite leaf nap? Asking for a my favorite leaf. One second. I want to see what it's called. I can picture it in my head. I can picture it in my head. It's where is it? I can picture it. I can picture it right now. It's like not quite the classic leaf because it has like a long stem to it. An ovate leaf? Is that what it's called? I guess. I don't know. That's what it says online. So an ovate leaf. I don't know what tree it belongs to. It's like it's the kind that basically it looks like the most classic idea of like .png leaf that you can think of, but it's got a long stem. Mainly because I like leaves with long stems, because then I twirled them a lot. I would just pick them off of trees and I don't know what it was. There was something about like slowly like not ripping apart in like a bad way, just like fiddling with a leaf. Like I would always do. I still do. I think anytime like I'm just distracted or whatever. But like you see if you can like get it to like go perfectly down the little lines that are on the leaf or whatever. Take your time, yo. Take your time. I want you to find all the memory. Let's go. Fun fact, Tears of the Kingdom has 1,000 corrections. Good googledy moogledy. I thought you meant you were gonna play Zelda the next month, and I was okay to say yes. Oh my god. No. I mean, there is a Zelda week option. Zelda, which, who knows, but my god. I'm excited to play. Like I was so ready to play it again today. I just was like, oh yeah, I guess I should probably get back to the hardcore world. And next Monday is also probably gonna be when we do the anniversary of the hardcore world. Technically the anniversary is the Sunday, but you know, I might do a short stream on that Sunday too. But yo, Aaron, thank you so much for the gifted, dude. Oh my good gracious. Thanks so much. Dude's popping off. Slap that close. Move that there. I'm sorry. What was the spoilers? That sucks. I've been able to avoid them. I've been very happy about that so far. I really need to buy a new game and get finished before I can't watch you play because of spoilers. Gotta get cracking. Is a shape of a leaf. No, it's not from a specific kind of tree. Oh man. Yeah, jeez. I mean, I really like it's not basic. It's not, one second. What is that type of tree called? I think they're just called sugar maples, aren't they? Yeah, I like sugar maple trees. I don't know, they're pretty. They're pretty in like fall and stuff like that. Yo, X-Men, dude, what's up, man? Sugar maples are probably my favorite. I don't know. They're lovely. They're lovely. Do you mind? In what world? In what world? You fiend. You absolute fiend. Genuine Hellraiser. Who told him he was allowed to be there? Real talk. I'm lighting this area up. This needs to be lit up like the 4th of July. Just absolute. Given just so many torches. I'm done with these mobs, with these ghouls and goblins. Sam can only keep me safe from the phantoms. Sam the cat, that is, not the once again, not the other streamer of Ascendcraft fame. How's it going? It's going great, dude. How are you, X-Men? Hope you've been well. Hope life's been treating you well. Hope all that you've been hoping to have happen has been happening for you. Oh man. Takes notes. Why is this so concerning, Edward? A tree comes hurtling towards me. My favorite leaf is probably not very oh my god. Getting all 120. There's 120 of those suckers? Are there 120? No, there's more. There must be more. Tyler told me that there's shrines next to every stable, right? So there's more shrines than there are stables, right? Yeah, there's no way there's a stable for every shrine. That would be insane. How did you do that? You saw the area was dark and the mobs were the problem and you just placed torches. Is it possible to learn this power? Well, it took me about 2 years to do that, so it took me around 2 years to place those. Hello, Sam. This is Sam the cat. He keeps the phantoms away. Oh man, but I was really surprised when they and I was surprised considering it was rated PG. Oh yeah, I mean, like, the only thing that you need PG-13 for is for really just like a couple keywords that I think most people can think of, but and you normally only get one per movie. But otherwise, no, PG has like a lot of people don't realize the James Bond movies, like the early like 1960s ones, and like the Indiana Jones movies are all PG rated. Like Indiana Jones has a man's face melt off. Like a lot of dark stuff can happen in a PG movie. It's just, you know, within a certain realm of possibility or whatever. Wait, is this family friendly stream or not? It's not. It's PG-13. It's a PG-13 stream. We meme by times. We certainly meme by times, but you know, we just keep it PG-13, and just I recognize, you know, there's people who are certainly, my guess would be late middle school, maybe early high school kind of thing. I mean, they have to be at least 13 or older, because if they're not, they will be banned. But you know. I mean, like, you can reference it, but I'm not saying, like, you know, probably don't have a whole discussion on it, because again, there's people here from countries it might not be legal in, or there's people here who are like, maybe that's just not really something to talk about if they're like only like 13 or 14 kind of thing. But no, I mean, it's not like a bannable offense. It's just don't go overboard with it. You know what I mean? Because like there's certainly, like, that's the thing is actually I don't know, maybe it is legal in Brazil or whatever. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, like, yeah, like I have viewership that's like from places like Brazil at times, or according to stats, there's people from like most European countries, which boggles my mind. But I always just presume everybody's gonna be like, which I don't mean in like a negative way. I just, you know, I presume everybody's gonna be like American, but then like, you know, I get like the occasional Edward, but like the occasional Edwardians. That's what I'm renaming. I'm renaming it. The occasional Edwardian. I'm a country, y'all. Exactly. I've named you a country. Oh my god. You're now Edwardian path. Oh my god. Obliterated. I don't know. Maybe everybody is in some way. Maybe the real Edwards are the Edwards we've made along the way. That made no sense, but still wanted to say it. Maybe the real friends are the Edwards we made along the way. Suddenly Seymour. Suddenly Edward. Oh my god. Is here to provide nice historical clothing facts. Ding! I mean, honestly, are there not nice historical clothing? Like, is there a historical clothing fact that's not good? Like, not like, are they not all fun facts? Well, I guess actually, now that I say that, some of them could probably be very not good. Didn't they like dye? Didn't they like dye green clothing with arsenic? Or am I thinking of something else? I know they used a lot of arsenic for like everything. So, you know. Oh wow, maybe that's why Indiana Jones rated that way then. Maybe it's just literally too early for like that to have existed. So then they were just like, I guess it's PG because, you know, it's not. But you'd think they could have like corrected it afterwards if they felt that it needed to be, right? Like they could have said all DVD releases have to be like PG-13 or whatever. Or like on Netflix it has to appear that way. They thought rigs as such for them to be like head dressing expert. When they discovered the tomb of King Tut, they threw out rags and such, only for them to have been like the headdress. Oh my god. They're like, hey, who needs these rags? My god. Yeah, we're playing. Hope you have a wonderful evening, dude. Hope it is Big Pog. Australia lost it. Yeah, the Emu War. Whap whap. Honestly, you know what? Valid. Those Emu, they fought hard. They had a good hustle. You know, it was well fought. Red Dawn. Wait, isn't that like the Twilight movie? Isn't that like the second Twilight movie? Isn't that called Red Dawn? Or is that the Red Moon? Is that Red Moon? Red Dawn? Something like that. Sure, Mad Hatter comes from the fact. Yeah! Oh, I love that fact, actually. I really do. Breaking Dawn. All right. Well, I was close. It had dawn in it, I guess. Was there red in any of the other ones? Is red used in like the third one? Is there a red one? Or am I just out to lunch on that? Is that just... They did use using arsenic. The public knew that arsenic was bad, but they named it something different. The wallpapers were also made of this. Ooh. Oh. Welcome back, Random. Oh, man. Mad Hatters. Sam. I think it's about time that, I think we might be getting to that time, Sam. Yeah, I know. It's been weird. It's been a while, but might just be that time. Chatters! Chatters! It is that time again. Next time you see this world will probably be the 2-year anniversary of it. Woo! Big Pog! Big Pog! Oh my god. I can't believe I've stayed alive in a hardcore world for that long. Genuinely. I really can't, but alas, you know, I guess I'm just built different. I guess I'm popping off kings, you know? Like, I guess that just be how it is. Anyway, chat! Thanks so much for coming out. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming out to the stream today. I really appreciate it. I always do. You know that. I will see you all this Friday. Probably back with some Zelda. Love you to the moon and back. You guys are always wonderful. I love getting to spend my Mondays and Fridays this way with you guys and getting to chat with you guys in the Discord. Speaking of, do follow the Discord. Or also check out my YouTube. I want additional nap through the week? Huh. Go to my YouTube channel. The VOD channel does still update, and then and yeah, on YouTube I do some kind of other things. I also do like things like less comedic at times with video essays, but you know I do some playthroughs of some games that I felt might benefit from that instead. But anyway, chatters. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to the YouTube. We are quite close. I know it's not much, but still, we're quite close to 1,000 subs on YouTube. You know, that's pretty pog. That's pretty pog. I'd like to hit that. I would love to be able to hit that before the end of June. I would love to. We're about 50 subs away, so I'd love to be able to hit that before the end of June. That would be great. That would be swell, don't you think? Anyway, chat. Thanks so much for coming out. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye, chat. Bye, chat. Bye, chat.